The In-Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami at a Domino's game, you'll always find your abuelito. And whenever you want a low price, you'll always save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. The Marlins have now lost a franchise record 12 in a row, falling 5-3 to the Padres. Tonight, they host the Phillies at 6:40. Tyler Phillips gets the start for Miami. An unnamed Dolphins player supposedly told Go Long TD's Tyler Dunn that under Mike McDaniel, nobody really cared about the team, and the captains didn't lead very much. And the Panthers have signed goalkeeper Akira Schmid to a 2-year, $8 million deal. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures around 90 degrees and intermittent rain throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Now it's time for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
I got my toes in the water, toes in the sand, not a worry in a world of cold
beer in my hand. Life's been good today. Oh, Dave Hyde just came in and said, life's good today. Dave Hyde's with us, Joe. Oh, my God, here. Man, Monday morning, here we are. Hell, the veterans about ready to come in. That's for all those coaches. Although I'm guessing if a NFL coach is coming in at 6, he's about 2 hours late. Those guys get there early, man. They get there early. You know, I didn't realize it till I started doing shows out of camp going way back when Harvey Green somehow got it worked out with different coaches. Jimmy was good with it. I'm trying to think all the coaches were good with some weren't real big on us being out there. But anyway, so we get there early in that parking lot, and you're going, damn. And I get there early. I like to get there early and drink that big boy Dunkin' Donut coffee. And man, they're already there. And, you know, Mike McDaniel, he like 3:30 guy. And I looked up at that light. What was that old TV commercial? The
Keep the light on?
No. The lawyer that like David Singer. And they turned that clip. That was one of the first commercials I remember. David Singer, your attorney, still working. It was like the middle of the night and the light was on and David Singer, and he was working on your case. Anyway, that was Mike McDaniel, man. And I was like, damn, Mike. And I used to look up there and going, damn, that guy's 3:30 in the morning. When do you go to bed? You got to sleep a little bit. Even coaches have to sleep a little bit.
I remember that is Mike would arrive at like 3 in the morning, 3:30, and Vic Fangio was the opposite. He would work late, like midnight. And it just showed once again. And I remember writing a column, the marriage of opposites, you know, and
I'm guessing if we could all be honest, even though Fangio's guys had a great year. They had a great year. He put up some monster numbers defensively. That was not a good fit. And you just said, this can be a one-year deal.
Yeah, you could tell Fangio, he's the oldest school.
Somebody tied him together because he had jobs.
Well, Mike tried to tire him initially when he came to the Dolphins, when he was named.
He did. He delayed. He delayed it.
The team.
He delayed it.
Because we want to keep the defensive coordinator at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Mike's not for everybody. And by the way, Vic Fangio's not for everybody either. As you could ask him, Bo Kemper. We had great stories. Bo tried so hard. God bless Bo. Old guy.
You think they would
trying
get
to
along?
bond. And Bo's getting grouchy. Bo's getting grouchy like Fangio. So I thought, you know, this might work. And Bo would go over there and try to make small talk with him. And you just realize he truly just wanted to be a coach. He did not want to talk about it. There was no time with Vic Fangio to say, hey, Vic, how's the family? Where are you from? Hey, I know your marriage didn't work. How's the new girlfriend you have? Because everybody knew he had a girlfriend. And it just never. The guy he liked actually was Jimmy Cephalo because they grew up in towns next to each other, and he watched Small World. He's younger than Jimmy. He used to go watch him, and Jimmy was like one of the greatest players to ever come out of Pennsylvania for high school football. Anyway, hey, we say good morning, everybody. Before we get into all this stuff, Dave, the beauty of sports works a lot of different ways. And the Marlins seemed like just yesterday, it was July 9th, and I go, wow, they're 26-8. When you have a run like this, there's no way all of a sudden they're going to start playing bad baseball. I know they're going to cool off a little bit, but even if they cool off, with this 52-42 record, 10 games over 500, halfway through the season. They're going to be more than halfway. I go, man, they're not going away. They haven't won since. Yesterday, 12 straight losses, a franchise record, 4 consecutive series sweeps, obviously. And if that's not bad enough, they got Zach Wheeler, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball tonight for the Phillies, to start the first of 3 games. So I wrote down yesterday, I think I talked to you yesterday, I don't know if you did this, and I just kept it. I didn't even take it off my notes. I go, wow, I'm sitting here, 7th inning, 11, they're up 3-1. I go, 11-game losing streak is over. So I had it already. I was trying to jump the gun a little bit. Manny Machado comes up and takes about 4 rips and just misses it. Even the announcers are going, oh, my God, he's had some fat pitches, and he's just fouling them off. And as soon as they said that, he hits one over the center field fence, tied up, 2-run shot. We're sitting there at 3-3, and I go, okay, but you're not done. Then Jackson Merrill comes up, right-handed, hits one over the fence. That was it. Got another run, end up winning 5-3. Had a 3-1 and just couldn't. Lake Balker was, they just chewed him up. I don't know. I was thinking, Skip, listen, man, you're going to be under a microscope too. You got to take his ass out. He was throwing Fat City.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody warming up. I mean, my only thought it was all the arms are dead at this point. And he said we're winning or losing with this guy because we have nobody else. That happens at the, look at the.
I just don't. He's very loyal.
It was a bad look. It was a bad look.
Very loyal, very loyal coach. And hey, man, sometimes your gut just has to say his stuff. Or you look at your pitching coach and you go, I know he'd been good, and because they always want to go by, he's been really good. And I'm like, yeah, his stuff just looked fat. His stuff was coming in there.
Well, after the second home run, I can't think who hit a double, and then a single. And then he was taken. So it was 5-3. They went in the, but look at this, how everything has gone wrong for the Marlins now. They had for most of the year a top 10 bullpen in the. They
did. That was a great story.
Strength. It was a strength. And Friday night, Tyler Zuber gives up 2 runs in the 8th inning of a tie game. He enters 2-2. They lose 4-2. Saturday, Dax Fulton enters. Now they're down 4-2. He gives up 3-run, game over. And then yesterday, Lake Boucher comes in the 8th inning, up 3-1, gives up 4 runs.
The setup, middle relief has not been good, and even at times our closer has just, his ERA is not.
He's been
That's
brutal.
not what we signed up for right there. So anyway, hey, by the way, it's not just that. The bats, they can't score. I'll tell you what, they've gotten sloppy. I know I like the aggressive running, and the announcer have done a great job. They've been aggressive. Sometimes they get too aggressive, getting guys thrown out too. And it kills potentially big innings with guys. And I don't want to start picking on the same guy, but ball gets by the catcher the other night. I'm watching, a pitcher backs it up, throws it to second base. And instead of keeping the drive going or keeping the inning alive, you end up, guy gets thrown out at second, and just demoralizing. And those are the things that are going on right now, and can't get big hits and haven't gotten guys over, and they're banged up. They're a little banged up right now as well. So anyway, sitting here with 12 straight losses, and by the way, they go from the greatest June in the history of the franchise to now another franchise record that you never want to see. You never want to see 12 straight losses in any sport. I've been around to see a couple of them, and you never want to see
starting to get. You saw the body language too, like when a run scored, guys are shaking their heads, and
they're almost waiting. When Manny Machado was up there, and of course he's a Miami kid, he's up there at the plate, and he's getting some great cuts. They were right. They're going, he just missed that, and he was swinging out of his shoes. I mean, he was at home, and he was trying to give the family and all the neighborhood and all his buddies, he was trying to hit one out of that. He was trying to hit one in the city of Miami. He truly was. He was trying to rip one through left center, and boy, he ripped it, and that was it. We've got another story that we didn't forget about. No, LeBron to Philly.
You decided?
I told you I appreciate you not calling me Friday with everybody else going, hey, nice job there. LeBron's in Philly now. Hell, nobody saw it coming, by the way. I thought every insider, good job by LeBron, number one, but I thought every insider, and this is what pisses me off when everybody wants to be the first to a story. And everybody thinks they have an inside or body language or comments that are made by the agent, trying to find a little something, or a player that played with him. He didn't give anybody anything. And then everybody, by the way, the last few days, everybody's going, he's going to Miami. It's a mistake. Or, no, we didn't get him either. And so I don't know what your thoughts were, Dave, but I don't even know if we were second. It doesn't matter. But I do love the fact that everybody said, his agent, I said, once they got Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia, that kind of changed things a little bit.
Executive of the year is Brad Stevens of Boston. He's given Philadelphia that he made him contender. Gave him Jaylen Brown, and now because of that, you have to put LeBron James in that trade too.
I love everybody still trying really hard to find something bad about Jaylen Brown.
Well,
his mouth gets him in trouble. He talks. He's the smartest guy.
No, evidently his analytics are awful. His on-off, they have the on-off, on the court.
Why am I having trouble? I get it, but why am I having trouble when somebody comes out and says he's the seventh best guy on the team?
Well, that makes no sense. But here's what makes sense. Here's what makes sense. Look what Philadelphia had to give up, which was a bad contract on a guy who's hurt half the time. They had to give up nothing for him. So that's and he was the Boston's perhaps top rival with the Knicks and the Heat. I mean, so that tells you that Brad Stevens could get nothing for him around the league. So the league sees something's wrong with Jaylen Brown, while you and I I agree with you. And you know who else didn't see anything wrong with him? LeBron.
Yeah.
Because he's going there.
LeBron I think LeBron said, all right, nights that I'm not going to be able to play and Embiid's not going to be able to play, we still got a nice three guys. We got a better three guys when Embiid is out with sore knees and I can't play because he's not playing 70 games. He's going to be in the 60s. And he goes, there's going to be nights we're going to be sitting down in Miami after we played Orlando the night before, and Embiid's going to be sitting next to us. And with Brown and Maxey, we're going to have a good chance to still win.
They will be a tough team, obviously, to beat, but I'm just curious how it's going to work. Jaylen Brown, what did you just say? My favorite year in Boston, because he was the man, right?
I'm not bothered by that. I'm not bothered by it.
I'm not by that. Here's what I'm saying.
Deal.
Here's what I'm saying. Now he's going to Philadelphia. He's probably the fourth option on Philadelphia right now. LeBron's number one, Embiid's two, Maxey, whose team it was the last few years, is number three.
Everybody's numbers are going down, Dave.
Is everybody going to accept it? It's going to take a while to shake that out, how that goes.
All I know is I saw Jaylen Brown with some guy at the airport. I don't know who it was. And, we got to get LeBron. And they were doing a little shtick back and forth. And I thought, okay, that's cool to hear. I think they all want to play no matter who you are.
Everybody likes LeBron, would love to play
There's
with
very
LeBron.
few guys all these guys look up to. I have learned that. I have learned even with Dolphin players through the years, I realized that Tyreek and Jaylen was a pain in the ass when he was here too. I realized that they only respect certain people and coaches. They look around and they only respect certain people. And if you're not on their level or better or done something, they're never going to respect you. And you're never, they'll chew up new coaches. This is my feeling. And I just use that as an example, but I think.
Are you putting Nick Nurse on alert in Philadelphia?
No, I think he real like LeBron looked at that and said, okay, he's
won a title. He won a title in Toronto. So,
but I think LeBron, what's somebody going to come in and, he's going to get instant respect. He's going to be on the whenever he tells them in the huddle and he says something, or those guys they're going to be like little kids. Hey man, when he leaves, and I heard a lot of trash. We got certain guys, and the politics and the sports are coming together more and more every friggin' day. But at the end of the day, when he's gone, like Tiger's gone, there's nobody in the league going to be close to LeBron. these guys come along, and MJ, when he left, don't get me wrong, the guys after him did a nice job, but they're not. The league just had a little hangover there. I thought when MJ left, I don't know about you, I saw it on NBC up close with the ratings because MJ used to get NFL ratings when he was playing basketball.
That's why he wanted a cut of the ratings when he came back from baseball.
He should have for stuff that he did.
But yeah, LeBron's been the face of the league for 10, 15 years. I mean, I saw a stat. He's played with 37% of all-time NBA players. His career has gone so long that he's played with 37%. So these guys, a lot of them grew up watching LeBron.
Well, listen, he's going to be under a microscope because he jumped on this team, so he's up for criticism.
Well, he's going to be wherever he jumped on. He was going to be.
Yeah.
Imagine if he came here, and I still think this was the best fit basketbally.
So stuff has leaked out. Whether you think it's fair, I can see him saying this. Wasn't crazy about the bench or the depth of the team. I'm just saying.
Well, you could do that with Philadelphia. Who's behind Embiid?
Well, they got 5 or 6 guys.
Who's behind? No, they don't have a center behind Embiid. They don't have anybody you're going to say. You could say that about a lot of teams. The depth here.
Oh, you're not the only one to say that.
I think it's better than people are giving it credit for. I'm not saying it's great, but if they got LeBron, then they probably get Klay Thompson, and all of a sudden that they're pretty good.
Well, listen, we're still in a run in here. DeMar DeRozan and Klay Thompson will be interesting to see what happens. And I agree, though, if we would have had LeBron, probably be a little easier to get those guys. If he says, hey, come play with me, if it's love to have you on this team, and you go, oh, thank you. That's cool. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning as we get ready to go. And so all the NFL shows and everybody showing up. My God, man, this story in San Francisco, that is just absolutely crazy to see what happened to Kyle Shanahan. Unbelievable. Got in that car accident. They're saying he may not be ready to go completely. Broken ribs, stitches. I guess he shattered his nose. He got black eyes. That he's going to be out a while. He can miss a lot of camp. He came out for a few minutes, but to actually, look at you break 3 ribs. I've never broken my ribs, but I know guys that have. We had a guy on our team that shot his ribs that to this day, honestly, the guy that signed off on it without saying his name should have done 5 years for shooting somebody's broken ribs to play.
Shot him up
so he could play.
Wow.
His name's Dan Johnson. He was a tight end. And I sat by him and I just saw him in so much pain. I think when people see him, our guys that play with him go,
the things people do is crazy. But to the San Francisco,
I didn't mean to get sidetracked.
No, I've never heard of anybody with broken ribs being shot up before. That you hear a lot of things, but not something like that.
That was a bad one.
The San Francisco story, just real quick, 2 subplots. One is
Chris Forster.
One was Chris Forster, the former Dolphin.
I loved him, man. One of my. I have said this since he even before he was snorting and chasing. I love Chris Forster.
Well, he's a great coach. I mean, he's a great offensive line coach, offensive mind. Now he's an interim. Good for him. I don't. Everybody gets second acts.
I agree,
but
I am a second chancer.
But that was a bizarre way he went out from the Dolphins. The video with you
realize that was 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2016.
I didn't realize
Adam Gaze's.
That's right.
Was his first year.
I was out there when we were sitting at the game, and they're going, he's not with us. You're going, wow. The whole thing.
Our lawyers made us say we could only say. Back when I was a newspaper guy.
Cocaine and hookers, my friend?
No, we could only say snorted a white powdery substance because we don't know what it was.
Yeah. Now everybody just goes and see if there's a lawsuit, what the hell, But anyway, hey, we got to go to break. We do have some Dolphin stuff to get to here this morning as we're rolling along here on a Monday morning. I do want to take a second to tell you about Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Boy, I'll tell you what, it is hurricane season. So far, so good. But you know how this thing works, and there will be some threats coming to South Florida. Maybe we get lucky, maybe we don't. But one thing you can do, Chev, the CEO, always says this, protect your home with the best products, and that's what they're all about. Their windows, Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with zero down, no interest, no payments for 1 year. Old leaky roof, replace your old roof. Now you can pay later, plus 24/7 roof repairs. Best part, Impact windows as low as $6 per month per window installed. So you don't have to wait for the next storm. Get the deal of a lifetime today and keep your home protected. Whether you're in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach, doesn't matter. Loctite Impact is the name you need to remember when you're getting ready to make that decision. To get more information, call them 954-500-LOCK. They got a nice staff that's educated that can get the whole process started for you. You probably have a lot of questions about, what you're getting ready to get into and how it's going to work. They'll do all that. Or you can go to LoctiteImpact.com and learn more about Chev and Loctite Impact windows, doors, and roofing.
560 WQAM conducts
Boy, I need some good news tonight. Man, the Marlins got to stop this. It's just got to stop, folks. It's got to stop. Let me ask you, have you ever seen a team? I mean, it had a record month in June in the history of the franchise, if I'm not mistaken. They took it from June 1st to July 9th, where they went, I think they were 20-6 in June, ended up 26-8 from June 1st till July 9th. Usually when you play that kind of baseball for more than 5 weeks, it's not like, I mean, now you got it going and you've had a lot of at-bats, your pitchers, and you're going, hey, I think they can keep this thing going now. I'm not saying they're going to be at this pace, but I'm thinking, hey, all they got to do is play 500 the rest of the way. You're 10 games over. You got a wild card spot. Hell, you may have the number one wild card spot the way this thing's going. And now I'm watching, and they're able to work around a center fielder that just couldn't hit, and then they started putting him down at the bottom, which, by the way, I don't know what this does for his confidence. Now he's putting him down at the bottom. They're not playing him as much. And they got another guy that's, playing better right now, hitting better, runs better. But now, like, I think you said this, when everybody around you is playing great, you can get away with your center fielder hitting 190. But when everybody's starting to struggle and guys are out of the lineup, and then everybody seemed to go cold at the same time, you lose Max, who's going to be back here pretty soon. But it just,
Joe, they've scored 2 runs in 9 of these 12 losses, 2 runs or less.
I didn't know that.
I mean, their offense, the wheels came off. And then, I mean, we talked about the bullpen, what's happened to that. It went from top 10 in the league to I don't know where they are now. You got to look way down to find them. And but you're right. They went 16-4 in their previous, that's franchise record. Right through a sweep of the Mariners.
Yeah.
And now they've lost 4 straight. They've been swept 4 straight series.
Yeah, series. It's and yesterday I very seldom do that, but I was like, let me jump the gun here a little bit. 11-game losing streak's over, and they had a 3-1 lead, and the Padres, by the way, I want to say this about the Padres. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I think they're back at 500 after 3 games. I see one of the worst, laziest teams in baseball for all the talent they've had. And I know, they've been banged up a little bit too. I don't know how much of the 3-game series you watched. And I'm going to go old school here a second. And Tommy Hutton picked up on it, and I was glad he did. Those guys jogged to first. I don't know if you see some of the throws. The guys aren't halfway there. I get it, man. Routine ground ball, you're getting thrown out 98% of the time. Man, I don't know what it is. It can't be that hard whether you're making 30 or 40 million. And they got some big salary. And Manny Machado's, even though he hit the big home run, he's a lazy ass too. And I get they're not speedsters. I know they realize a lot of the power hitters don't run well, but damn, man, you still got to run hard to first. And they got 2 or 3. That Tatis, another one he jogged down it with, I think he was the one. I don't know if you were watching. And they threw the ball, and the guy bobbled it and threw it. And they showed him. He barely got, he goes, wow, he barely got in the TV screen. He about halfway down. And I was like, wow, that's how, because one time somebody's going to make a bad throw, or a guy's going to drop the ball and pick it back up and throw you out by 10 yards, and you're going to be embarrassed.
This is always a topic. I remember.
It's not, I don't care what time it is. You can run hard.
I remember a Marlins scout talking to him. He goes, and I've been critical of Derek Jeter, the general manager, but the Yankees were playing. He goes, watch Derek Jeter hit a ground ball before the game. So I'm watching. He sprints every time.
Yeah.
I mean, like all out. And it was noticeable, the difference in him and some other players. Now, I didn't watch much of the series. I was out, but I watched part of yesterday's game. But I didn't notice them jogging. But
they hit 2 home runs.
Notice that
I saw them jogging when they hit 2 home runs late in that game to win. But I don't know, man. And
that gets to the bigger phrase of top culture and
yes,
and these are the stars that you're mentioning are doing it.
Yeah,
and never a good thing when on any team in any sport. When
we have a few managers, we have some managers from time to time around baseball for guys that haven't run hard down, have been taken out of games. And there's been drama with it. Now, Coach and I worked it out. We had I don't know who it was. Somebody came down here and got pulled out of a game, and they weren't happy, and they got it worked out for, wasn't happy with the effort. But I don't know, man. It has nothing to do with this losing streak because the Padres won all 3 games to, and Manny hits the big one yesterday, ripped it over the center field fence. But yeah, it's a rough one, the bigger picture of this Marlins thing. But boy, I don't, have you ever seen anything for now? If this would have been a week or they swept 2 series, you go, okay. I mean, this can happen. You play the right teams, you get the right pitchers, you match up well with. But I don't know if I've ever seen something go south so quickly. And there are a couple key guys out, but even saying that, I get they don't have a lot of depth. I understand. I just 12 straight losses after going 26-8. 26-8, you're usually pretty legit, aren't you?
Well, I was writing their buyers in the trade, the trade deadlines.
Yeah, what are we
now?
Yeah.
They're buyers. They're the talk of baseball. They're the surprise, and all their problems. Everything that was working for them now, in that stretch is working against them. Bullpen, hitting, injuries. It would help that if you had Max Meyer in there to stop something like this. Sandy Alcantara's pitched well and hadn't stopped. So,
Well, anyway, it's a tough one. Phillies tonight, and oh, by the way, Zach Wheeler's on the mound, who has been really, really good. And they just got kicked around pretty good by the Yankees and the Dodgers. How'd you like that series?
I was watching that game last night. They were up 6-0. I
They
don't
ended
know
up
how
winning.
it ended. They ended up winning.
Yeah,
okay.
they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they end up having a good night offensively, but they didn't win a lot of games. They've lost a lot here. So that's kind of helped that they're stuck here, even at 52 and 54 now, record, 2 games below 500. Again, if they get going, but boy, you could take a punch, and everybody said it. Look at that dugout. That is a dugout. They were almost waiting.
Oh.
And this happens in every sport. It really does. Oh no, here we go again. Where you have a lead, you jump out on somebody, and then here they come, and you go, oh no. You see it, then you feel like even your manager or your head coach is starting to play defensively, and you change everything, right? How many times you see you go to a prevent defense when you're up, and you loosen up just a little bit because you go, hey, there's only one thing, hey guys, don't give up the big play down the field. Everybody loosens up. Let them catch the ball in front of you and tackle them. Okay, let's chew up the clock. We'll tighten it up as we get closer to the red zone. And then the next thing you know, the guy gets it going. Quarterback gets his rhythm. Now you try to go back the other way, and it's too late because now they got their timing. Big Mo's a powerful thing, man. It really is.
Yeah, and I don't know how they get Big Mo in baseball starting pitching. As you said, Wheeler for the Phillies tonight and Tyler Phillips for the Tyler Phillips was one of the great stories.
He's got 2 personalities. I can't figure out one.
When they were doing great, he was part of why they were doing great. Yeah. Filling in is like he upped his innings from out of the bullpen to a starter, and now he's part of with a lot of guys. He's part of the story of things not going right.
Well, anyway, hey, Seth Levitt's going to join us in the 7 o'clock, co-host of the OJ McDuffie of the Fish Tank podcast, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about the Dolphins. So there've been a lot, and our podcasters and our fan base, and a lot of them do a great job. A lot of they're all fans, and the podcast. Some of them are making a good living doing it now, and picking up and doing a really good job of putting stuff out there and really good on social media, and they're promoting it. We got these fan clubs all over, amazingly, from Europe. We got one in Northern California. Hell, we got one in Southern California. And I flew home to see my dad when we were in Southern California. I was plane full of people up from San Francisco up to Sacramento, and I actually flew into Sacramento. I couldn't believe how many fans were on there.
Imagine if they won.
Yeah, no,
I mean, imagine if the last 25 years the Dolphins actually won.
I'm with you, but so they're getting a little tired of some of us. They think we're a little too negative about what's going on this season, setting everything up, and I saw some of the comments. We can win 10, 11, 12 games and all that. Listen, man, I'm glad you're positive. Don't get me wrong. And I hope more than anything for all of you, everybody. So there's a few things. Not everybody has the same amount of talent on every team. Somebody tried to sell that. They're all professionals and it's about coaching. I do agree with this. And this is the part I wanted to get to. I don't agree everybody has the same amount of talent on every team. Just not the case. But the coaching thing, I think, is probably going to be bigger this year, along with all these young players. And because of these young players, coaching does matter, and it's going to matter more this year. You and I talked about this a little bit last week, Dave. The right system, getting guys in situations they can handle. You know, sometimes super talented guys you can throw out there, and you've had great. I see high school coaches. One of my knocks on high school coaches, they don't make any money, so it's not real critical, is these guys try to run the same system every year, and you can't run the same system if you don't have some of the players. You can't throw the football if you don't have a quarterback that can throw it. Doesn't make sense. So you got to get people to fit your system, and if not, you got to adjust to what you have. And then technique and not making mental mistakes and guys not freelancing when they get frustrated because they're getting kicked around and all those type of things. So yeah, I think coaching, and we'll find out about starting with our two coordinators and the system they put in down to the coaches who are coaching technique and who can play and and how quickly your guys can develop at every one of these positions. You know, coaches look really good and they get really popular when guys at their positions become really good football players. That's how.
But here's the stat of the season: $172,497,014. That's the dead cap money. There's no way they can compete. There's no way they can. And everybody,
I agree with you. We do not have a fan. I am yet to have a fan come up to me, male or female, young or old, and they don't want to hear that number. And I go, look, you have to hear that number. Dave, I'm with you. But as we get ready to open up camp with everybody, nobody, say it one more time, please. What's that number?
It's hard for me even to spit out. $172,497,014. Remember the cap, the salary cap.
That's cemetery money or in Atlanta, most of it.
Yeah, 55. You got 55 to
cemetery money,
28 to Tyreek, 23 to Jalen Waddle, and 20 to Jalen Ramsey. So
we still got Jalen Ramsey money.
Still got Jalen Ramsey.
We still got money from that extension, that terrible extension we gave that guy.
So
who truly was not a very good guy.
So the salary cap is 3.2.
You know what really bothers me more than these numbers is everything that's been said about these guys and what bad teammates they were, and how all the things they've done. Because you've noticed, you've seen it in the last few. There's articles out about how guys were walking all over Mike. We knew it, and it was the star guys, and how the guys. I saw something yesterday. All the guys that had C's were the biggest frauds on the team. They were the biggest problems.
But here's the real problem. Everybody knew that when they were brought in here, except for Tua. He was considered although when Mike took over Tua, Brian Flores, he's not the guy. He told everybody in the franchise as loud as possible, he's not the. Then you had Ramsey. You know he's a problem coming in here, a problem personality.
And you want to tell Vic Fangio who should play.
Tyreek Watt,
and how he wants to play.
Everybody knew was a problem.
Yeah,
just
I'm leaving early. I'm coming late. I'll miss the meeting, but I'll be there for practice.
Kansas City didn't want to invest in him because it wasn't like it should have been a surprise. And then you got a coach who allows things to happen, and it was a perfect. The Dolphins have had a lot of perfect storms of problems.
No, the substitute teacher cannot come in. No, I got you, man. Whew, man. All right. But I got to tell you, you're with me on the coaching thing, still. No matter what amount of money, to get the most out of whatever these guys have and get them caught up quickly. And hopefully we don't have to wait towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm with you because you got a big draft class. You need to see that
huge
develop.
One. Huge.
And then you got a lot of guys on 1-year wonder contracts trying to restart their careers or find their careers. And can a coach help be part of that, So, yeah, absolutely. That's what the season's about. Can they find guys?
All right. I'm running super late, but
okay, Joe.
I got all fired up.
You always are.
I get fired up about this thing. And, and I do love the passion of the fans and if you're not believing we can win 10 or 12 games and you're not a fan, you're just, all you do is rip the team. I was like, I'm not ripping the team. I'm just trying to bring up what the number one thing is what Dave just said about dead cap money. All right. Hey, enough of that. I'm going to have to go see Dr. Barry here pretty soon. Hey, let me let you know something. If your mental health is not where it needs to be, on a real serious note, hey, things happen in lives. Divorces, people leave people. It messes you up for a while. I get it. Had it happen. Lose your job, lose your identity, can't find it, not feeling good about yourself. Usually your buddies, few beers, you go out and you start feeling a little better and your buddies help you. Sometimes you just can't do it on your own, man. And if you're going through it and your mental health's not where it needs to be, Dr. Barry's team at Recovery Unplugged has your back. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space to heal. It really is, with music-based care that hits the right note every time. They accept most major insurance plans. You're looking to get back on the road, man, a little bit, and get some help. Have somebody professionally help you. Dr. Barry's great staff is ready to go. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. This summer, heal out loud.
Let's go.
everybody out there. How's everybody doing when we got the decision? By the way, it is the last decision. I love that. I said last decision a couple weeks ago because I figured this would be. And he said, yeah, this is going to be it. Is the last decision. I'm going to play with Philly on Friday. And it was just like, oh. No, it was just came out. And it was like, oh.
What was the reaction? My reaction?
Well, first of all, the guy that's dating my daughter, Michael, got to it first. I said, damn, way to ruin my Friday. I don't stay on my phone, by the way, on the weekends. Do you ever let the phone get away? Is that an old school thing or is it just a me thing? I can't be with my phone.
It's a you thing because I
don't want to be with my phone on the weekends because there's people I need a break. I don't need it to have it with me all the time.
That's a healthy thing. That's good.
Literally, a lot of people want stuff, and so I don't want to see it.
Don't bother Joe on a weekend.
No, I'm I need to. Now my kids complain. I know my one daughter's called my son and said I can't get a hold of him right. What's going to go? Oh, he's terrible about his phone. He's bad. Anyway, so we've been all over the board here this morning. Yeah, LeBron to Philly, and he took a little heat. He got a little heat with it, but I just love the fact they're saying, yeah, Jaylen Brown going to Philly. That was, and everybody was talking, well, that Jaylen Brown, he took a shot at the kid. Everybody knows why he's in the NBA because LeBron's his dad, and a lot of other teams probably do this. I think it'd be hilarious if Bronny ended up in Philly sitting next to Jaylen Brown. That would be. Have a good
well, that's going to happen, and that's the given, right? Where, yeah, you're going to bring in Bronny, right? Keep LeBron happy, keep everybody. But I don't know how Boston goes through. If you're a Celtics fan right now, you lost Jaylen Brown, and you gave your top rival, historical rival, anyways, even more than the Knicks or the Heat, you gave them LeBron James on top of that.
So they are the best team on paper. Do you agree with that? Now, I don't know.
I want to see how it plays out because they have such overlapping talent. See, they have four people.
I don't know, but that's a lot of damn talent.
I agree. I agree. It's
Philly.
Great. I just want to.
WIP up there has got to be going nuts, going, geez, we haven't had this kind of talent in a long time. The biggest question is Embiid. How many games can he play?
Evidently, he met with LeBron for 2 hours. Told him it's the healthiest he's been in an off season in his career. He's working. I'm really, really, really going to get in shape for you, LeBron, and I'll be healthy.
I swear. I'm on Ozempic. I swear.
At this point. He is who he is, right? I mean,
I don't know, though. I just think there's a lot of nights where LeBron and Embiid are sitting off the side there in street clothes, and they go, we still got a really healthy three guys that going to beat most teams when they're playing well. So now the question is DeMar DeRozan, who's a mid-range jumper and is a good player, 18.5 points a game for Sacramento last year. And then Klay Thompson on the buyout, where will he go if he doesn't want to stay? And looks like they're going to get him out of there in Dallas. They made a trade. And will he want to come back here and play, or how many of them are going to follow? See if Philly's got any more spots open.
The Heat need DeMar DeRozan, not from a, defensive but they need someone who can create his own shot at the end of games. And that's not really Giannis's game. Remember at the end of last year, they had Davion Mitchell drive the end of the court against Charlotte with the season on the line, the play-in game, and that didn't work out. That's not his game. So it would be by committee again if they go in with this lineup, but you'd like to have a DeMar DeRozan to give you an option.
Well, listen, we've gone after him a few times. It's so funny. Through these guys, they're 35, 36, 37 years old. The amount of times that Riley's trying to make a run at some of these guys when contracts come up or buyouts or free agency. And I know Westbrook's name's also was a name that Pat always had a love affair for, especially when he went out to Oklahoma City and that thing didn't work. But we'll see what happens here going forward with everything else.
The other thing, Joe, of this move and the offseason is there are probably like 9 or 10 teams in the East who think they're not only going to be playoff teams but can win a playoff round. And it is going to be all of a sudden the East has gone from almost an afterthought a year ago to, wow, look at it's everybody's pretty good in the East right now. And
well, Toronto thinks they're pretty good if the trade goes through. I guess they're still waiting on Kawhi Leonard and see what the hell is going on. They're not going to touch that owner, by the way, the wealthiest owner in the NBA.
Steve Ballmer?
He's not getting touched.
We'll see.
Wealthy owners are good for business.
They keep touching Jorge Moss, who is pretty good for business in the MLS.
Yeah, they do.
And they're going to touch him again, it looks like, over Casemiro. And
what are they going to slap his hand, give him a fine, and let him keep him?
Yeah, they fined him. They fined him over $2 million previously. This is a battle of an archaic, small-minded thinking league against a people who are trying to take the league to a different level.
That's correct. That was part of the book that came out. Is Jorge Moss is on a mission when they have those owners meetings and going, look, you guys want to stay minor league, let me know. But I'm going to keep trying to bring in great players. I want our team to be mentioned with some of the best teams in the world. That's his goal. My goal is not just to win this and everybody go, oh, you won, great. The MLS is minor league soccer.
Well, meanwhile, you have a rule that says gives teams rights to certain players, and the other teams can't talk to them because what they don't want is competitive bidding for. Meanwhile, Casemiro's rights were with LA Galaxy. He said, no, I want to play with Inter Miami. And that's now that then it comes in tampering. Did the Inter Miami call him and say, come on, we'll get you?
So here's the problem there. This is the tampering thing in all of sports now. Everybody's got everybody's number. Everybody's tampering. Tampering. I'm so tired of hearing about tampering. Oh, free agency starts next week. No, it's already started. Guys have already talked to guys in their organization. Hey, bro, we really want you, man. I'm just telling you, you can get a good deal here. You'll like it here. Let me tell you about this place. That's tampering. Every guy's got every guy's phone number and know how to get, and they can DM each other.
What do you think of this, Dan Day? You cover Inter Miami, and Casemiro made his debut Saturday night.
I mean, the league is not going to do anything because Inter Miami theoretically can just take their ball and go home. Messi will just sit down and they'll say, oh, they're going to try to find him and do stuff. No, it's all a slap on the wrist.
Plus, they like the All-Star show on the road.
They like that money.
All good for sellouts everywhere we go. And that's what you get with Messi, who should be back here
coming up as soon as he's rested.
He missed the All-Star game. He got slapped on the wrist a little bit. He probably took it out of his checking account right there. Or he might have had the money in his wallet. Just said, here, take it. And then let's go. But they're going to win this thing again. It's weird. Weird thing. All right. Hey, listen, we got a lot more stuff to get to. We got 7 o'clock hour coming up here. We'll jump on things with Seth Levitt at 7:20 this morning and talk a little bit about the team. 21 draft picks. 8 2 years ago. This past year, past few months. 13 more. The 21. The special 21. We got to come up with a name. The special 21, because they are going to be the core. We got we got 5 or 6 really good players that we have, and then you got the growth of the 21. Going to be a big one. And what are we going to get out of Malik at quarterback, which is always right there at the top?
Well, I'm writing about this. The 3 questions I got is, can John Eric Sullivan find enough through the draft and these 1-year contracts to stave off all the problems with the salary cap?
That would help.
Is Jeff Hafley a leader? Because we've had a lot. I mean, we can talk about. We've had guys who, he's a great strategist.
Jeff Hafley will not let the substitute teacher stuff. It will not happen.
I don't
with
think
him.
so. We don't. He certainly sounds like
not going to take it,
right.
And he's got the backing of the guy above him.
And the third is when Malik Willis comes on the field, down a score in the 4th quarter, how do you feel? Do you feel like we got to now it's going to be tough this year because, as we've said, no receivers. The questions on the right side, but
you got to find some. Some's got to come by.
Yeah.
By the time we finish this season, we're going to know exactly what we have and we don't have, and hopefully we have some development of some young receivers and go, ooh, we need more, but we got a couple of guys that we can go forward with.
I'm writing that on Substack. You can subscribe to it. A little plug here.
Yeah.
Subscribe to it, and it's got an app. and you put in your email, and all my columns will be sent to you on Substack.
I like that. So. It's about time you started doing this. I told you to get doing this. We're going to do that again 7 o'clock hour. We're going to do that. Right now, I want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. As again, I hope this weekend you got a chance to go out and see that truck family at your South Florida Chevy dealers, one of the 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. We got great trucks, man. We do. I know, I talk so much about trucks. Feel like I need an SUV day, or I need to talk about my Corvettes a little bit, or something, or talk about all that room in that Chevy with my family with me all weekend. I got to tell you, man, when it comes to trucks, boy, you can't go wrong with a Chevy Colorado. Nah, whether it's a Colorado Custom or the ZR2, got everything you need here for South Florida living. But let's get into the big boys, man. You know what I'm talking about. You see them all over the road. Chevy Silverados, from the Custom Trail Boss to the Silverado EV. With 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices, Silverado delivers, man, an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Or are you ready to step up some hard-working trucks that can work as hard as you do? I know a lot of guys out there get up early in the morning. I know you work and you don't stop till the job's done. That's how you make a living. Hey, Chevy Colorado HD might be perfect for you. You can choose from the powerful LTZ with premium style and substance to match, or go to the biggest with that Chevy Silverado HD High Country. Man, it's like we've custom-made a truck, a Silverado truck, perfect for you and your fun on the weekends of getting the family around for all the sporting events, to you working, making a living. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. Together, let's drive.
WQ Panthers, the 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the 2-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami, at a Domino's game, you'll always find your abuelito. And wherever you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. The Marlins have now lost a franchise record 12 in a row, falling 5-3 to the Padres. Tonight, they host the Phillies at 6:40. Tyler Phillips gets the start. Despite not getting LeBron James, the Heat continue to search for other options to fill out their roster. At the top of the list, DeMar DeRozan and Klay Thompson. Inter Miami, they defeated CF Montreal 1-0 over the weekend, and Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, and Andrew Jones were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures in the low 90s with intermittent showers throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Help! I need somebody.
Help!
Not just anybody.
Help!
You know I need someone.
Help those Marlins, please. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning, and thanks for being with us. Dave Hyde's with us. You know, it's going to take a while to break. I am so close to saying, you know what?
Don't say that. We're not allowed to say that anymore.
I'm not. Can I just say this?
The paper that will not be named.
I just want to say this, and I'm not trying to stir it up today with anything because you had a long, great career there. Great career. They should take all your stuff off, in my opinion. You're not there. They shouldn't be used. That stuff needs to be cleaned
still
out.
On there?
Yes. I mean, there are articles from.
Look, they're a little slow. I still have my email like 4 weeks after.
No, you're trying to defend the paper.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying they're a little
the paper.
slow.
I'm just saying, unless you're still getting, hey, we're going to keep your articles up here. You know, I think
they should send them on to Substack, right? And enough of this old school. I'm glad to be out of the old school stuff.
Old Substack,
Joe.
yeah.
You know, no one wants to. No one gets the ink on their hands anymore. That stuff.
I don't know. I still get the sun sitting on Sunday. I still get our papers on Sunday.
Well, that's because they
is that a throw-in? Is that why I get it?
You actually get a better deal if you get the paper on Sunday. It made no sense to me, but
I did it.
Yeah.
I go out there. As a matter of fact, I go out there in the morning, got that coffee, and I go, I know I'm probably better off going right to the website because it's fresh, a lot of stuff, but I like to go through
I
the
always
newspaper.
said people doing it the
can't
old
let it go
school way,
completely.
We should have a promo, and I tried to get our people to do this, where we would show up at their driveway with a cup of coffee. So when they came down, give them a cup of coffee. Thanks for getting the paper, because you're the one that the papers aren't making money on digital, making much money on digital. So.
I got to say this. I don't know. I would love to know. I don't usually ask people on the text machine, but all day, Dan Day, I am really curious what age you are if you're still getting the newspaper.
Over 40, over 50, even more. I walk the dog in the morning, and it used to be 20 years ago. Everybody, a lot of paper you'd see it at the driveway or somewhere on the.
I got a guy at my street as I'm leaving early in the morning. And at first I was like, what's this guy doing here? I kind of watch him. Then I would realize at least one neighbor down the street's getting it full time because he's there.
God bless those people.
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah.
But it's harder. I mean, when I was at the Sun Sentinel at the height in the 90s, when we had the biggest biggest classified ad section in the country, and that was printing money, we had 49 people in sports. Now there's 8 people in sports. 4 writers. 4 writers covering South Florida. The Herald has 7.5 writers.
Back then, we didn't have any sports. Now we got a lot of sports and not enough. We got teams going, hey, you going to send somebody out here, please, to cover our team?
Yeah, you talk about teams hating the media. They miss the media now. Trust me.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, so anyway, we've got Seth Levitt going to join us coming up. We'll talk a little Dolphins with them, with everything's going on and roster coming together. By the way, the head coach will be with us Wednesday morning. We'll talk to him, and we've got a bad losing streak we got in. Just got to flush it tonight. Phillies in town will not be easy. Phillies just got they got a win last night. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, got beat up pretty good by.
They lost 2 or 3 to the Yankees.
They did, and lost 2 or 3 to the Dodgers too. And
so they're looking to beat up on somebody. And boy, the Padres got healthy. The Padres had lost 5 of 7 coming into the Marlins series, swept the Marlins, so they're feeling pretty good. Now you got the Phillies with their big payroll and trying to get things going in the NL East. They're probably looking at it the same way, aren't they?
Well, now everybody's it's on right now. It's about trying to win your division. It's trying to solidify a wild card spot and get to one of those top spots and everything else. So yeah, it is. This is the beauty of sports. It really is. It's just I like when it's the other way, where you get off to a slow start and then you have this strong finish. But yeah, they were 26-8 in the month of June and first 9 days in July, and they haven't won a game since. They were 52-42, 10 games over 500, a little more than 5 weeks of work, and haven't won a game since. Now 52-54 on the season. By the way, got pretty good crowds, Dave. I was going to bring that up. Watching the games, I go, oh, man, 21,000, 22,000, and 16,000 in 3 games. They'll take that. They'll take that if they knew they could get that every day.
That was Saturday was Venezuelan Heritage Day.
That was a big one.
And then Bobblehead Day yesterday, Javier Sanoja.
It was Peruvian Day, actually, and Sanoja, because my sons went to it. My son wore his Peruvian soccer jersey.
Oh, okay.
Because
he did?
Yeah. So, but 21,000, it was pretty good crowd. Of course, a lot of them were booing in the 8th inning when. But that's part of it. I mean, you lose 12 in a row in the majors, even in this market, you blew a 3-1 lead. And the manager, look, McCullough's saying all the right things. I've watched the post game press conference. Just
I agree.
Curiosity.
I mean, what's he gonna do? He's nobody's gonna feel sorry for us.
We got to come out. I believe in the team. I believe in the bullpen. I believe in
Dave.
What else?
I know you believe in guys, and you know what, these guys, and I know Balker's been pretty good. Don't you have to take him out?
Oh, I would have. Yes. That was the thing. He
Listen,
gives up the tying home run, gives up a back-to-back home run.
He was throwing, and by the way, our announcers, those guys, they're all over it. He was throwing fat stuff that was breaking right across the middle, and they're bringing up like Manny Machado. Oh my God, Manny came out of his shoes again, and they were throwing bait to him, and then he hits one over the center field fence.
Yeah, I think it was Tommy Hutton said, I know what the manager's thinking, going with his gut, keeping him in there, but sometimes, and after I think it was after the double, he goes another hanging curve.
Yeah,
so it's like
and I think they always he's been so good to this point. I know, but this about right now, and his stuff doesn't look sharp.
I just think at this point in the year, a manager knows going into the game, what do I have in the bullpen? And his bullpen must have been, out of options really for them to keep him out, Batcher out there. I assume they're dead arms in the bullpen right that day.
Well, listen, it doesn't get any easier tonight, as you said earlier. Zach Wheeler is on the mound tonight, and he has been really good and on a mission. So we'll see what happens tonight as the Marlins try to stop that 12-game losing streak, franchise record. 12-game losing streak. They have their best month. Was that June month? Was the best or one of the best?
Yeah. And their 16-4 run, it tied their best in franchise history. There were all these great numbers going for the Marlins, and it just turned in a skid. In 1988, I was with the Herald, and I covered the Orioles losing 21 straight to start the season. When they lost like 19, hey, can you go up to Baltimore and cover the Orioles? So there's such a strange dynamic about a team losing that much. Very uncomfortable to be around, very uncomfortable to ask questions. And I'm sure it's that way in the Marlins right now.
That's I hate to always bring it back to football since we're getting ready for football season, but that 1-15 could have easily been 0-16. Played the Ravens. They're down on the goal line, decide to kick a field goal against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. I don't know what. They were giving up a ton of yards. And he goes, no, kick it. So we end up winning that game. That thing was looking 0-16 right in the eyes, man.
This was when Wayne Heising was selling the team to Steve Ross. Next year, Yeah, listen, next year I go in and I set up a meeting. I go meet Steve Ross in his office in New York, talk for an hour, and he tells me the story. After that game, Heising was crying in the locker room because he was afraid, just out of relief that they won a game. And Steve Ross says the next day, Steve Ross calls me and says the price on the team just went up $40 million. And he goes, what? And he goes, I just, we won a game. I just reminded me how much I love being an owner. The price went up $40 million. So
is that right?
Brian Billick, the Ravens coach, comes to interview Steve Ross. And Steve Ross pulls him in. I think I can say this on the air. And Ross meets him. Billick says, nice to meet you, Mr. Ross. And Ross goes, you son of a bitch. And he goes, what? He goes, you cost me $40 million. You cost me $40 million. Can you imagine that? But Steve Ross paid it. Sure, why not? It turned into a great investment for him.
The best investment he's ever made. And developers do really well, but he hit a jackpot. I believe the wealthiest man in this state, who I guess lives down here as well. Forget the guy's name. What's the guy's name? Tried to buy everything.
Ken Griffin?
Yes. Offered a lot of money for the whole thing. And Stephen Ross said, no, not interested. Not interested. We're good. My daughter's good. My son-in-law, we like this. We like this thing. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it right here. Man, I hope we do some winning soon. I sure do. I sure hope we do some winning. Hey, Seth Levitt, the co-host of Fish Tank Podcast, Everything Dolphins with OJ McDuffie. It's always a great listen. They do a great job of former players, active players, Everything Dolphins. He's going to join us coming up here in a couple of minutes, and we'll talk to him and get his take on everything. You think there should be an open competition at quarterback, even though? I'm just curious.
Well, there's not one.
No,
no. Look, when you give this guy the contract, 3 years, 67, 2 years, 45, no matter how you want it.
Yeah.
And from what I saw Quinn Ewers last year, there's not an open competition.
Well, that's how they felt. That's how the Green Bay 3 felt. The head coach, the GM, and the guy they had for 2 years. They said, he's our guy. We've looked at everything. He's our guy. Hey, let's go to break here real quickly. Super sure, man. I'm super sure of one thing. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's a finish line, handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear again from them until that renewal's ready to pop up. Your business runs all year, and so do gaps in the risk. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not, plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com, paid for by Supersure, an insurance agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. You did. I know you did. I know you did. All right, welcome back. Boy, I'll tell you what. All day, your music's a lot better than that stuff that Woody was playing. Thank you, man. I appreciate that every day. Hey, we've got Dave Hyde with us. Nobody can just say Dave Hyde and stop it. It's so hard to break the habit.
Say Substacks Dave Hyde.
That's
what you need to do. It starts with an S. You can start and just move into it.
All right. Seth Levitt joins us this morning, co-host with the Fish Tank podcast, along with OJ McDuffie, Everything Dolphins, and he joins us. Seth, good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Hey, so we got everybody, including our fan base, all over the place. We got believers, 100%. We can be good. Everybody, we're all professionals, and I say not all rosters are made the same. But I do agree with a lot of them. This coaching will make a difference, and I do believe with all these young guys. How do you feel about the coaching potentially and how quickly we can develop the 21 draft picks from last year and this year?
21 picks. Gosh, that's a lot of picks, isn't it, Joe? Yeah, I'm excited to see what they've got going over there. It seems like they're finally building this thing, I'll say the right way. Maybe it's just the way that we're more accustomed to. They want a physical team. They want to win in the trenches, and they seem to be somewhat responsible, at least up to this point. And that's refreshing because we haven't seen a whole lot of that over in Miami Gardens for a handful of years, if I'm going to at least be kind. I think they've got a chance to be better than what people are expecting, Joe. I really do. I don't see this as a 4 or 5 win team. Chris Perkins pointed out that that's what you got in 2019 when they went out there and tried to lose. They had a strategy of losing as many games as possible. A head coach that wouldn't cooperate with that, and which head coaches are not going to do. I think this team has more in the tank, more in the cupboard than that 2019 team. I know it is a tough schedule, but I see them being more than a 5-win team simply because they're building it the right way.
You think they're more than a 5-win team without an edge rusher? They don't have a proven cornerback. They don't have a number 1 and 2 receiver. What are you basing that on? They have $172 million in dead cap. I'm arguing the other way. Just to put some resistance up there, Seth.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not just I know you believe it, or you wouldn't say it, Dave. I mean, those are concerns. Those are legitimate concerns. The edge rusher piece in particular. I'm a little biased towards the value of edge rushers, and I think that is a major concern. But 5 wins, I mean, that's a really bad football team, and I don't think that they're, even with everything you just said, and I can't deny any of it, I just do think, like Joe mentioned, that they are going to be well coached. I think that you've got some guys, some veterans there who are proud, and I think there's more talent on the roster than people are giving them credit for, even though there are those major holes in those places. The dead cap piece, while that is handcuffing them, the dead cap doesn't play games. So when they get to Sundays, it's going to be about the guys who are there and not the guys who aren't. And I just think they're going to be better than a 5-win team, Dave. I really do.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be a 10-win team like you've had some guys come on your show and say.
One guy. And he's scoring big with certain fans, because now we got fans saying, Omar's onto something, because I see potentially 12 wins. I went, oh, my God.
Now, did Omar count the wins? Did he get in there and count? Did he sit there and tell you?
Have you counted the wins, Seth? Have you counted the wins? 6 wins. Count them. Get back to
we'll
us.
Count the wins. Well, I'll send that to you, Dave. Do you have a message board on that sunset?
Actually, the Raiders game the opener might be the easiest on the schedule.
Well, you've got the Raiders and you've got the Jets twice, right? So I mean, that's halfway to 6.
Well, they're looking at it as we got the Dolphins twice, right?
Well, sure. I mean, everybody is, and look. I like my football team to be the underdog. I like my football team to be backed in the corner. I think sometimes they got a little too, over your skis, or a little too cocky over the last few years, and you start believing you're something you're not, and that's problematic. But when
I don't know if this team had that.
Yeah, no, right. You've got a lot of guys who just heard what Dave Hyde just said. You've got guys that their entire room, they're looking around and saying, nobody believes in us. And I think that's exactly where they need to be right now.
Are you one that thinks there's going to be a lot of these free agents that get their careers going again? Like this group of wide receivers, to the wide receiver room. I don't know what to expect because everybody's going, well, they're not a 1, they're not a 2 receiver. I think there's going to be some guys step up that we're going to have back. I do. I think whether it's one of the rookies, why we're waiting for our number 1 rookie to get healthy and be able to come back. And I think one of those veteran guys is going to take a next step up. What do you think?
I think you're right. No, I think that they'll take a step up. As far as being back, I don't think anybody should look at, Miami. What did Harvey tell me when he hired me? Rent, don't buy. I don't think anybody should be looking at a long-term Miami residency because this team, just because a guy plays well, I don't think anyone should feel that they're going to re-sign them, especially if they're approaching 30 years old. That doesn't seem to be the John Eric Sullivan way. I think, if anything, like you say, can you restart your career and get a decent contract somewhere else because they believed in what you did? But I do think inevitably there's going to be 1 or 2 guys that you hope would play well and they don't, and there's going to be 1 or 2 guys that surprise you and you get something out of them and you're excited that they have them there. But in terms of the receiver position, it's going to be a long haul, but I think they've invested in this young group of receivers, and those are the guys that you hope a year from now or you've got some pretty good players.
Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Should there be an open competition, or is it Malik?
Stop right there. Stop right there. Open competition. I don't even know where did that idea even come from.
The same guy. It's the same guy we've been talking about with 10 wins.
Of course it is. Yeah, and I love Omar. I really.
Oh,
do.
you said.
I don't. When you've got an open competition at quarterback, you have a problem at quarterback. I think that's the place to start. And there is no way that John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley made their biggest and first move on a guy that they're going to allow to sit on the bench unless it's just an absolute train wreck. And this is no disrespect to Quinn Ewers. I know I've been a little tough on him, or at least some people who are Texas fans or Quinn fans feel that I have been. He seems like a great kid. The team responded well to him last year. Everybody seems to like him, and there is some talent there. But I think that he's a capable number 2. I think the fact that he started a few games last year is comforting to this regime, because if he has to play, you at least know that he's done it before and you've got some proof of concept. He is not the starter of this football team. It is all about Malik Willis. That's the investment. Everyone knows that Sullivan and Hafley have a little bit of a longer runway than maybe some of their counterparts that also just took new jobs this year. But that runway gets shorter if you have to go in and say, Mr. Ross, we blew it. I know we committed $45 million of yours after you already have another $100 million that you owe the guy that's not here. We committed another $45 million to that position, but we still think Quinn Ewers is the better player. I mean, that's a tough conversation to have, and I just don't think they're going to have it. I think Malik Willis he's a better player right now than Quinn Ewers, in my opinion, and I think it's in their opinion as well.
All right, Seth, I don't think the Dolphins have had any rookie who's been the talk of training camp since 1997 when your man, Jason Taylor, sacked Brett Favre and John Elway and was the talk of camp. Part of that's Devon Achane was hurt. Xavier Howard was hurt training camp. Who, if anybody, is going to be someone to step up and you look over the next month as camp opens, you're going to okay, this guy could surprise you in training camp?
That's a great question. First of all, I will warn anybody about getting too excited about training camp performances by rookies. Joe, do you remember Brian Manning, the receiver that we had from Stanford, and he went out and looked like
he was a great preseason player, one of the greatest preseason players of all time. Yeah. Yeah,
so you have to be careful about some of those things, but and it is a great question, Dave. Look, the guy that they need to be really good is Caden Proctor, and how much of that are you even going to be able to tell in the training camp practice? I don't know. When you start to see him preseason games, you'll see him pushing around people a little bit, and they took I think a chance. They think it was a no-brainer there. They took a chance there. They certainly passed up on that pass rusher position, Dave, that you were talking about earlier, and that got all of us down here in South Florida riled up. I think Chris Johnson is a guy that's probably going to flash. And what a lazy take to just go with the other first-round pick and then go to the next guy. Jacob Rodriguez is a guy that's probably going to look good in camp because he's going to be prepared and he's going to run around and move well, and probably people who are a little lazy carrying that ball, he's going to punch it out of there. But what about the receiver position? Let's go back to that receiver position as well. Caleb Douglas, big, tall, lanky receiver, maybe he's a guy that can step up, and even Kevin Coleman Jr., a shifty guy. So I think there's a couple of receivers that might look good in camp. Will it translate to NFL games against NFL quarterbacks? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think those are a couple guys that will probably they'll flash in camp and look good in those one-on-ones, and all the crowd will go great because they just beat somebody that has no safety help and no pressure on the quarterback. But I think you'll see those guys step up in camp.
Well, I tell you what, we better be talking about Caden Proctor being our best player. Nothing against Johnson or any of the rest of those guys. Caden Proctor playing next to Brewer and Paul need to be outside of inside linebacker, the strength of this football team.
But what are you going to see in camp, though, Joe? Like, what are you going to see in camp?
I'm going to see guys run blocking. As soon as they do camp, I want to see us run that left side, and I want to hear Bo going, damn, do you see Proctor just did to that defensive tackle? Oh, my God. That's what I want to see, right?
Well, let's hope so, because when Bo's not happy in camp, it's not fun for anybody.
But it's entertaining during the game. I got to tell you, one thing good, when I come home and my wife goes, I can't turn this off. I go, you're watching the pregame show on CBS? She goes, Bo's just like, you can tell he's pissed off right now asking questions. I love that, man. That was –
oh, it's too good. It's too good.
Bo and Chop, man. Chop, Rob.
Oh,
well,
gosh.
Hey, man. Okay. Chop's getting coached up, new people.
Yep.
They turned the defensive tackle coach. It does a great job over to pass rush, helping him with moves and technique. One of the best coaches, Austin Clark. Coaches said, man, he's got a lot. We just got to get it out of him. He's got a lot to offer. Boy, year 3 for this guy. He's played a lot of football as a year to, if there's a breakout, he needs to be one of those guys, doesn't he?
100%, because Dave nailed it. In the pass rush, I don't know where else it is. It's going to have to be manufactured by Jeff Hafley, who's his specialty is
true.
Being a defensive coordinator. He's going to have to scheme this thing up. And we saw Brian Flores do that, right? Another guy, you hired a defensive coordinator, and he would scheme up pass rush and turn 2 safeties into the best pass rushers that you had on that defense. I think that they're going to have to definitely scheme this thing up. You hope that one of those rookies, whether it's Trey Moore or even one, the kid you got from Wisconsin there as an undrafted free agent, can maybe step up and give you something you didn't expect. But Chop, this is his year. It's a make or break year for him. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I love the fact that the guy has elite get off. I think, but they just got to find a way to allow that to succeed. I think giving him a few more pass rush moves in his toolbox is important, because that's something even some of the guys who have played pretty well here as pass rushers the last few years, has it been more about their athleticism or have they been technicians? I don't know what, I don't want to take a shot because, as you said, Austin Clark is a very well-respected defensive line coach, but those guys need to, they definitely need to have more tools in their toolbox when it comes to some pass rush moves.
You just said something. It's interesting. Remember Brian Flores did, he brought the house and he left his corners one-on-one with no help. Do you remember all that? You didn't have a lot of time to throw it. There were guys coming and you couldn't block them all. And he left those cornerbacks on an island by themselves. So
who do you have? Xavier Howard
had X-Man on one side, and
I have to think about the other side. But he had, Xavier Howard could lock.
Oh, you know what? We had the guy we got from the Cowboys that covered real well, had no interceptions.
Yeah,
and then he went 401k on us the last year.
He did, and he also not only did he do that, he got Xavier Howard a new deal when he came in and signed his deal. So it was a lot of that.
How would you like doing that with the cornerbacks this year? We don't know enough about them to even suggest that, right? It would be a little
scary. It would definitely be a little scary. You don't. So I think the secondary is one of the positions of greatest concern unless somebody does step up and surprise you. That's why everyone's excited about, getting Johnson there with that Jalen Waddle pick. So it is a scary thing, but you got to find ways that you can't just line up and say, we're better than you and we're going to line up and pin our ears back, because they don't have that. They don't have that talent on this roster. They have to scheme it up in addition to getting guys to step up.
All right. The one area they do have talent is inside linebacker with signed Jordan Brooks, drafted Jacob Rodriguez, and Tyler Dotson, who I'm not sure, talking to people who fits exactly what they want to do schematic, but they got 3 productive players there.
They got some other young rookie linebackers they like a lot. That is going to be interesting. You're right.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's an exciting position to watch. And I'm with you. Like, you can't play them all. You can't play them all at the same time. And if a guy's really good, I understand having a nice rotation, but you want to leave good players on the field. So somebody's going to be the odd man out. Will it be Dodson? I don't know. I think there's going to be a guy. Keep an eye on him. He's probably going to bring a little bit of an edge or a chip on his shoulder to training camp. I think he would. But everybody's excited about Jacob Rodriguez. It's a great story. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. How often do you get that from the linebacker position? So exciting player. Bo loves his mustache. Of course, he went to Texas Tech, so immediately we all think of a guy that we all love, and Zach Thomas. Doesn't make him Zach Thomas, but the fact that the two of those guys have a relationship, and oh, by the way, so does Jordan Brooks has a relationship with Zach. So he's got two guys that are kind of get to look up to Big Brother and Zach Thomas. It's a fun position to watch, a fun position to cheer for. Hopefully it translates to great performances.
Who's the most private guy when they retired that we don't even realize they live in town? Is it Cam Wake or Zach Thomas? Who gets that?
I was going to say it's Cam Wake. So you could have argued Zach just if you compared the greatness of the player to just disappearing into the minivan, being a soccer mom. But it's got to be Cam Wake, because when Zach got that gold jacket, now you see him, flashing that smile. He's a little.
Oh no, that gold jacket carries a lot of money on appearances with it. There's no question.
He takes that Matt Moore call now, doesn't he? My God.
He goes, the gold jacket. I can get what those other dummies are getting. This changes the whole world right here.
But I'd see Zach.
Is that what they say? Price just went up. That's for sure.
I'd see Zach at practices every once in a while. Rare, but once in a while. But I'd never see Cam Wake. And Cam Wake, is he the next name on the Ring of Honor? I know he's great, but I've heard he's lost a lot of. As he said, when I retire, I'm losing 50 pounds or whatever. I heard
I saw him off the road one day. I was going to play tennis, and I don't know if he's doing a little speeding.
There,
huh?
I think he's in Plantation, right around where you're playing.
Yeah. No, I saw him off the road. I don't know if he was driving a little fast or driving a little slow over there, but I did see somebody over. I go, oh, there he is.
He's the next one on the Ring of Honor, and he might be the last one on the Ring of Honor for a while, right? I mean,
I think you're right, Dave. I don't think there's and by the way, I'm going to still call it the Honor Roll.
Or Honor Roll, whatever it is. I don't know.
No, you got it right. It's the Ring of Honor now, but it was the Honor Roll, and I'm going to be like those guys who still want to call the stadium Joe Robbie Stadium. To me, it'll always be the Honor Roll. But I think you're right. Cam Wake is deserving. I don't know. I don't know when. Who knows when that'll happen, if it'll happen. But is there anybody after Cam Wake? Certainly hasn't been. There's guys who have flashed, right? Everyone thought Tyreek Hill, and we know how that ended. But there's guys who have flashed.
Yeah.
Achane, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, maybe in a decade he's a guy you talk about. But since Cam Wake, there's been nobody else.
Seth, great having you, man. Really appreciate you coming on this morning with us.
I'm honored.
All right,
listen,
bud.
You were talking about the death of newspapers. You were talking about the 2007 season, and then you rolled me out here. So I feel like I got right in.
Hey, you're not one of those old newspapers, brother. You're rolling.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Seth.
it, guys.
Take care. Seth Levitt joining us, the co-host of Fish Tank Podcast with O.J. McDuffie, one of our favorite guys. By the way, that's what a first-round pick looks like, is O.J. McDuffie. Hey, man, I want to tell you about the Marlins. What's going on? Got Marlins baseball. Oh, yeah, not necessarily been good. 12 straight losses. But 3 big games with Philly starting tonight. Zach Wheeler on the mound, and the Marlins got to end this thing. And we want to let you know they got great deals going. If you're thinking about going out and you got some time left with the kids, you want to do something today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, boy, I'll tell you what, they got some great South Florida summer offers for you, starting with the Phillies, July 27th, the 8th, and 29th. Take advantage of fan-favorite offers. Enjoy 2 for $25 and score 2 tickets plus 2 canned beers for just $25. Or you can get 4 for $44 presented by Pepsi and get 4 tickets plus hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks, all for $44. I call it the best deal they've had, and they've had it now for a few years here. So don't miss out. Get your tickets now for the Philly series, marlins.com/tickets.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by Loctite.
And we are back. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Dave Hyde's with us all day. Dan Day with us. Woody's got the week off. Woody's getting in those vacations, man.
He's going to be nice and relaxed.
He is going to be relaxed. He's going to be. Then he's going to be doing a lot of stuff, and they got a really good team. And
they open next week, right? Camp opens.
They open. Yeah, we're gonna have everything rolling football wise here with high schools and college, and of course the Dolphins rookie class. And now tomorrow the Miami Dolphins veterans will report, and we're off and running. We are off and running. Yeah, everybody's all over the board on this wins and losses, and I will say this: better get that first game. If you're looking at games to get early, we need to be ready to go for week one. And, schedule a little different now. You got 3 preseason games, you got a bye week. You get a week off. So they have an extra week from the end of preseason. And then to get roster moves, get everybody healthy, make some decisions, and then you're off and running. Of course, the Dolphins start with 2 games basically on the West Coast. Go to Vegas and then the 49ers. So, got to get that first one, man.
But the Raiders are sitting there saying should we start Mendoza? Because could it be a better situation? We're at home.
No, I agree
against
with that.
A team
on the other side of that,
without a proven cornerback or an edge rusher.
Well, I am really, and this is why one of the reasons I said coaching matters this year more. First of all, you're so young, and these guys are going to learn good habits right off the bat, but you got to develop them. And for the coordinators, more importantly than the daily coaching is the system that you're going to run and how much you're going to blitz. I'm with Seth on one thing for sure. They're going to have to do some creative blitzes. They're going to have to show a lot of different looks. But, hey, if this goes back, Brian Flores blitzed. I mean, and it was like, it's coming. There was no, hiding it. It was just, now, the difference is you had a top free agent cornerback that, again, was always in position to make a play, just didn't have a lot of interceptions. I forgot his name. Still haven't figured out his name from the Dallas Cowboys that we got.
Yeah,
we paid really good money for him, and X was on the other side and had a really, really good season. But we put those guys, there was no help. Like, hey, guys, just so you know, occasionally have a safety in the middle, but you don't have to cover them long. So we're going to go bump and run, and we got after people, and we had some success with it because we were knocking quarterbacks down. They had to throw the ball early, and shockingly, sometimes they seem surprised. But Brian Flores was, I loved it. It was fun to watch, and it covered up weaknesses of your defense.
Yeah, but they had a secondary to do that.
That's true.
X-Man on one side. They had Rashad Jones at safety. I mean, they
had some good. They did have some guys. I agree.
So I'm not sure.
You're not ready to put guys out there that have 1 interception or 0 that haven't played a lot of football.
Yeah, maybe Chris Johnson's great. You hope so. The rookie 30th pick.
You're still putting them against some number 1 receivers out there. Or
no matter
in the
who
slot.
you are, there's going to be a learning curve. Yeah. It's not like he's the 3rd pick overall, as some guys have been, and step right in and play. So
can I just tell you, I may be wrong, but if now guys get hurt, as we've learned in camp, we had about how many guys secondary got banged up in camp last year. They were dropping like flies. But if everybody stays healthy, Chris Johnson, Juju Brents, and Jason Marshall are going to be 3 guys you start. Storm Duck's hurt. Just terrible. Not 9 months and not ready to go off that ACL. And again, a lot of cutting, step and cut and go and come out of breaks. But I think Chris Johnson, Juju Brents, and Jason Marshall are going to be the front runners for this job. I think Ethan Bonner, Marco Wilson are going to have a chance too to jump in there, because you can't play with just 3 guys. You're going to need 5 cornerbacks.
Well, Juju Gents looked really good at
Juju
the start
Brents
of last
is a good
year.
player.
I remember, I think it was an Indianapolis game. He looked really good, and you're
just got hurt.
Oh, this guy could be an answer. But it's been that way the last couple years, so you're not sure how much to expect out of him.
Yeah. A lot of, we don't talk about injuries, but we know they're going to happen. And there's going to be a bunch of guys. I mean, get banged up. And, hey, very few guys play 17 games now.
Which gets
Wait till they go to 18.
We're not even talking about the depth of this team. We're talking about the starting lineup. Who are they going to play? They get a couple injuries of the starters, and
now you're going to practice squad, and you're moving guys up, or you're bringing veterans in from the outside, which they could still bring. There's still some veterans out there if it's the right guy to bring in.
You can have two thoughts on this team, and they fit. One is I like what this regime's doing. They took the big salary cap hit. They're building with rookies. They made a lot of good decisions on who to keep. Just self-scouting on who to keep. The guys they gave the contracts to makes all sense in the world. So you can have that thought, and you can also say this is going to be a really painful season.
Dave, I agree with them to flush it all out. I was glad. Get it done. Pay everybody their money. Guys playing, guys that,
Problem of guys who didn't fit either the timeline, either by skill or by age or by money. I agree with you, Joe.
There's two guys I wish we could have kept. There's two guys. Two guys last year I wish we could have kept just to make it more interesting. But I understand because the two guys, you got more and you want to get your own guys and stuff. I wish we could have kept Jalen Waddle. We don't have anything close to him on this team. And he's still a young guy. He's expensive. I get it.
I always thought there was more on the bone with Jalen Waddle than what they got here. But I guess we'll see in Denver because they got everything. So we'll see what he does.
And
there.
I wish we could have kept our pass rusher on the outside because I think he's
Bradley Chubb.
I think Bradley Chubb's really good.
There's age, injury.
He had the year off. He didn't come back. Then he came back.
He's a great guy. You talk about he was in the Jordan Brooks.
He was good.
And Aaron Brewer mold too.
And he was really good with the guys on the Plains, a really good place after games and before games to see how veteran guys are with those players. Because, it's about how you play first, and then it's about how everybody else when they're coming up to you. And, it's a bitch fest sometimes about coaches and how you're being used. And, that's what we do. That's what every guy does. But he's a class act. He was a class act. And, hey, his 8.5 sacks could have been, he left a few. He left a few, but flush guys out for other guys to end up making big plays. Hey, holy smokes, 8 o'clock hours coming up on us, man, sneaking up on us. LeBron to Philly. Oh, my gosh. By the way, nobody had that one. We'll come back, talk a little bit about that, more Dolphin stuff as well. A lot of NFL news. And one guy that coached here, what a great comeback story it's been, and we're hearing more about it on the West Coast. We'll tell you about that story. Right now, I want to tell you about Baptist Health South Florida. That's always a good story. It's a good story because when you get injured, that's the bad news. The good news is you're going to get healthy because Baptist Health South Florida Sports Medicine Program is one of the best in the country. How do you become one of the best? Like, Joe, what's that mean? Well, you go out and you get the top specialist for every part of the body. You get a whole bunch of great knee doctors that do everything. Even if you completely tear up your knee, you're going to get great results like a guy on a hockey team and a guy on a football team got. Then how about the shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles? I'm talking about some really good doctors and great facilities for you, great team doctors to help you out. It's a total package when you go. And people ask me, well, where do the pros go? Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and Miami Dolphins all trust those great doctors. FIU, FAU, they're all using that team of doctors, that all-star lineup of doctors with great facilities like Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, Hard Rock Stadium next to the training facility, and 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Guess what? The good news is, hey, you're competitive and you love to compete, but you're a little injured right now. You can visit baptisthealth.net/ortho and see those same doctors that work on $1 million athletes every day.
Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA. South Florida sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Miami at a Domino's game, you always find your abuelito. And whenever you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. The Marlins have now lost a franchise record 12 in a row, falling 5-3 to the Padres. Tonight, they host the Phillies. 6:40, Tyler Phillips gets the start for Miami. Inter Miami did defeat CF Montreal 1-0 over the weekend. Casemiro made his debut. And Panthers have signed goalkeeper Akira Schmid to a 2-year deal. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperature around 90 degrees with showers in and out throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Time now for the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
Well, I don't really have any thoughts about this song when we're hitting the road yet. I mean, we're still too early. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 8 o'clock hour. Dave Hyde's with us all day. Dan Day's with us, and we've been all over the board. Yeah, Friday. Not exactly sure what time that phone started ringing. I was a little busy, but LeBron ends up going to Philly. And I got to tell you, of all those shows and all those NBA shows, not a lot of people. I didn't see anybody saying he's going to Philly.
It didn't fit into his golf game. You know, you looked at the Heat were the perfect fit basketballically, and the weather, everything. You know, golf, happiness. Weren't we?
You know what happiness is?
Sense.
Hasn't changed. He wants to win.
Yeah, good for him. You know, I look, do it for him on two things.
He can golf
One
anywhere he wants the rest of his life and off season.
He picked the place he thinks he can win.
How about the number one reason that his agent said why he ended up going to Philly? That was a surprise. Jaylen Brown. I had people in my life that I know saying, hey, the Jaylen Brown, he kind of burned that bridge, saying something about his pride and joy, his oldest son, Bronny. He said everybody knows he's only in this league because of his daddy.
Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe the Heat should have put that out on social media. What do you think? Rather than what they put. Do you think that factored into it at all?
I don't know. You know, I heard somebody blaming Giannis.
I have a hard time.
Blaming Giannis that he didn't kiss LeBron's ass enough and he didn't really sell LeBron that he wanted him to come. Like, come on.
Here, look, nobody.
That's weak. That's weak sauce.
Nobody knows what played out behind the scenes either. Like, of all the teams that, you know, you say the experts were surprised he went to Philly. I think Philly was surprised. They had no inkling either until evidently right before he called and said, I'm coming there.
The only thing we heard was he and Maxey. He really loves Maxey.
The agent. Rich Paul was Maxey's agent.
I got to tell you, man, I just and don't. So this is where people start dogpiling. When something doesn't go your way, we want to look for a reason. And they decided you're going to go after Giannis. Like, really? That's the best you can do. The Heat didn't try hard enough. Giannis didn't sell, basically did not call and kiss enough LeBron ass. And so he said, I don't feel like he really wants me to.
I don't think LeBron needs that at age 41.
I don't think he needed that. He's looking at rosters. He's looking at coaches. He's looking at the whole thing. At the end of the day, I don't know how many times you can say it, but that 5 guys is the most impressive 5 guys together. I don't know how it's going to work as a starting lineup.
I don't agree with that. LeBron knows a lot more basketball than I do, so he thinks that. But I just don't. I want to see how these 4 guys, all who can handle the ball, 3 of them have been finishers, are going to work with LeBron. I mean, between Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, and LeBron, how that's going to work out. And then you got the Embiid injury factor. But credit LeBron. He picked the team he thought was going to win, and he took even.
We're not giving him credit that he might know those guys and how they fit in better than he.
I think he might know a little more basketball than I do. So who am I to say that's not? But the other thing, 2 years, $8 million. Now you knew he wasn't in it for the money, but that's like even less than anybody expected.
Yeah. Which just tells you he's making a lot of money outside of basketball.
Oh, that's true.
You didn't know where I was going. That just tells you that shoe contract and that production company and all those commercials he's doing are doing just fine.
Still, usually there's an ego thing involved there that, wait a second, I don't want to be the, in the bottom 10% in the league and being
I do
paid.
give him credit because I didn't think he 3.8 million year one. I was like, wow.
I mean, the Heat's offer was what, 6.5 or 7 million. I mean, even that was low, but this is almost half of that.
Well, this just all this stuff that comes out somehow. Giannis is sitting home and finds out, and he goes, people writing articles blaming me. Are you kidding? Because they were trying
I missed that one.
Oh, yeah. No, so they had all the reasons why he didn't go to certain teams and why he went to Philly. Everything written about that. But I just, hey, when's Philly? You looked at it. They got a really good team. They're going to be really good even without LeBron. And he looked at that thing and looked at who his coach. I'm sure the coach is important.
Nick Nurse, he won a title in Toronto. He's a Canadian Olympic coach. But I don't know. It came down to the players. He looked at it and said that lineup works. So,
and when Embiid and I aren't in the lineup and we're missing one of our 17 plus games we're going to miss next year, they're both going to be in that 65 range, especially a lot of those back-to-back games. And those guys still got a good team. Dave, they still got 3 really frontline guys that can win basketball games. I just think he looked at all of those things plus what they have on that roster. And so we'll see. I guess it was big to him trying to win a 4th championship on 4 different teams.
How big was that? Now, nobody's done that before, but it's such a trivial statistic, isn't it? Had you ever heard of that before this?
No, you know what the other name they call for Barkley started on that is chasing the ring. Ring chasers.
You could have said that if he comes to the Heat or
everything. Yeah.
You
think he's going to go to a bad team?
Yeah.
Well, you think he wanted to go to Milwaukee?
I don't blame him for quote chasing a ring. That's look. All everybody says he's not Michael Jordan because he doesn't have 6 rings. He has 4. So, but I just thought the Heat were the best fit for him. But I guess he thought of differently.
Hey, so anyway, we've got that. The other story I teased here before. If you like comeback stories, and look, I think everybody should get a second chance. I do. I mean, short of murdering somebody, but when we all make mistakes, and Chris Forster, our old offensive line coach, had. That's of all the things that have happened during the time of dysfunction over the last 25 years, when you haven't won a playoff game in 25 years, you've got some dysfunction going on. It's just not losing. There's a lot of different parts to it, and our fan base has had a chance, and I've had a good seat myself to sit back. Dave, you've had a great seat to sit back and watch it and go, I can't believe this. We now add this to the list of things that fall under dysfunction. So we have one of the best. He is flat out one of the best offensive line coaches. When he got here, we got him. He was. Chris Forster is now Kyle Shanahan gets hurt. He's assistant head coach and offensive line coach for the 49ers, and now is the head coach for the next 3 or 4 weeks until Kyle Shanahan's able to come back from a terrible, good thing he's alive. He's lucky to be alive with all the injuries he had. But what a nice comeback to see his name, man. And his son's on the coaching staff, which, by the way, your son doesn't get on a coaching staff unless you're a really good coach.
Well, he was Adam Gaze's top lieutenant here.
He was.
When all that mess came down.
I liked him. He was. I said this when it happened because we were in L.A. on one of our West Coast trips, and I got up early because you can't sleep, and I'm on California time, so I'm wide awake at 2:30 in the morning. And I know what went down there to get coffee. And I always to go up to the players where they eat and they get their coffee, caffeine, and see if. And he was up. He was just sitting there. We sat and had a great conversation with him. Now, I know what people are going to say. Might have been snorting and
was this a video out? We should probably lay the scene for fans who don't know that he was fired after
a picture of
a video of him in the Dolphin office was released by a Las Vegas quote model. who he had a relationship of,
or
him,
or
of
as
him,
the movie once said, cocaine and hookers, my
cocaine,
friend.
of him snorting a white powdery substance.
Yeah,
as the newspaper's lawyers made us say. You can't make that stuff up.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't.
So he left and got himself, straightened out. But man, they got him right back as soon as they could. As soon as the league signed off, they had him back as a consultant and said, "Hey, you show us you're fine and keep going to your therapy and stuff." And he did.
He came back to the Dolphins. I don't remember.
No, went to 40. No, he's been to 40. He went to Shanahan, took him right there and said, "Hey, you're my guy." And I give him a lot of credit, and it's paid off. And seeing those guys talk about him, but what a nice story. Terrible story for Kyle Shanahan to go through this and be out, but Chris Forster has really
good for him. No, seriously, and we would sit here and make joke about it almost because it was just unbelievable. But someone reclaimed their life, sorted things out, and now he's at the top of his profession again.
Why does it seem those things? I don't see that happening on 25.
I mean, that was right on the heels of Bullygate.
Yes.
And
we went through that.
Chris Greer was hired. The dysfunction stops now, remember?
But by the way, that one just kept giving because Jonathan Martin was like, he's back there and had guns and knives and saying, "I'm coming after you and you're saying stuff about me." And he was saying, "You writers, you guys," he's like, what did we draft? Wasn't bad enough the day he left. He hasn't left.
But he's still back. He's back on social media now. Like he called me, "How was your first weekend without working? You lost your job. You deserve," I was like, wow.
He did that to you. Huh?
Yeah. It's like I ignored it because I think he's got some issues.
No, he does.
So
but I got to tell you,
all the best to him.
The police need to keep an eye on his ass. I'm telling you that right now. And his mother and father need to keep an eye on him too out there because that was dangerous stuff. He's threatening to go and jump on a plane and go get Richie, and Richie's got his own demons out in Arizona where I've seen Richie out there when I was out there, and just crazy stories. And then I find out he's Omar and you and some other people. He felt somehow, listen, man, whatever problems you have nothing to do with our writers. Now, it makes you feel good and you feel like you're getting even because you feel like, I don't know what he thinks you did to him.
He felt that I said he lied, and I didn't. What I wrote was the NFL. I always felt the NFL took the convenient route out in that Bullygate thing with their report. They just, it's all Richie's fault. It's all, it was a lot more complicated than that. A lot of things were going on, and it wasn't just one person's fault, and that what you had was two extremes of personalities, both of them with some mental problems, and a coach who didn't pay attention, and Joe Philbin, and what was going on in the locker. There was a lot going on there.
Every time something happens, we want to blame all these other people, man. And I get mental health is serious stuff, and this is why I always say, you want to know who I blame? You've heard it if you listen to this show. I blame the people when you drafted them. You want to get to the bottom problem instead of we bring in people that we don't do background checks on. Check with them. There should have been people we hired. Hey, we're going to take this guy in the first or second round. We really like him. We like this guy from Oregon. We like this guy from Stanford, by the way. I guess it was those Pac-10 guys. But, you got to do background checks. And people going, if you just went back to high school, you would have known, both of them.
Well, and then you got, the Deion Jordan, Cam Smith. There was a lot of that going on here.
Don't get me started.
We've started, but you're right. The idea now is
other people tell me we didn't have them on the board. They were never on the board. There are warning signs everywhere, and we take them. So why we want to blame a coach or we want to blame this? The coach's job's not to, on his off time, to go, all right, well, I like him a lot. Let me go spend a few days and see if he's going to the local college bar up there, if he's working, and hey, let me go spend. I'm going to go back to his high school in the Bay Area and find out what he was like, or down in Southern California. Nobody did that. And then we find out, and then later go, oh, yeah, if they'd have come by this school, man, we could have told you. He had some issues. You can't listen to college coaches. You can't listen to them. You can't listen to them. Most of them are not going to badmouth their players. Their job is to get guys drafted. It's good for business. It's good for transfer portal. It's good for recruiting. It's all that stuff. So when everybody wants to blame another player or blame a coach, blame the friggin' people that went out and drafted them. The GM should be standing up in front. You want to get rid of people, they should have been the first ones gone. You don't do background. I don't blame a coach. Nobody said an assistant coach has to be a babysitter. Like, you like him, all right, go out for a week, grab your wife, and head out to California. Just do some background. That's not their job. That's not his profession. Private investigating to find out and get information on guys, that doesn't fall under those guys. It pisses me off, in case you didn't catch that.
Which is what I like this offseason. They for the first time in a quarter century,
Cam Smith
clean house, and not just the roster, but they cleaned it in the front office too. Of the whole personnel department.
Yeah,
they kept the good people.
Right.
As
I got it back together. You're right. We're on, but we talk about these things that have happened, and it's like we just give certain things a hall pass. Like, stop it. Stop blaming this guy and that guy. We need to stop. I mean, we got coaches paying, and we got trainers. Trainer wasn't friggin' out. Like, the trainer's not the one that drafted the guy. The trainer loses job.
PR guy lost a job. I mean, they were looking.
Next time he goes, yeah, let me go. Next time I'll do your job and friggin' in the front there, since you guys are the ones that tell me you got to let me go. When truth is, your ass needs to look in a mirror. You need one of those home mirrors that says, it's you. All right. We're good now. We've got a lot of other stuff here too, man. Besides that, we got our Marlins. Can't forget about the Marlins. My God. 26-8 for 5 weeks. 26-8 to 0-12.
I'm feeling good about tonight, Joe.
You are?
Lucky 13. The pitching matchup.
Couple of fat pitches,
exactly
man.
Their way, but
that's all right. Zach Wheeler will throw it hard, but he will throw it down the middle, and you'll have a chance. Sit on that fastball. And they don't always locate him where they want.
Tyler Phillips.
They don't locate him. Kind of like watching Bacher pitch last night. He couldn't locate him either where he wanted him.
Ooh, that was ugly to watch.
Whew, man, that was a rough one. All right, on that news, before it gets any uglier. That little history lesson. By the way, it's Byron Jones. We didn't say that. Byron Jones was the other corner's name. Covered like he can cover, but he ain't getting any interceptions. Did he have any interceptions here?
Maybe I think he had one. I remember he had one because it was like, oh, there's his first interception.
But we used to all go, no, I know he doesn't get any, but he's right there and he bats the ball away. He's just got terrible hands, but he's a really good cover corner. And we put he and X-Man outside, and we blitzed every friggin' down, man.
He had 2 interceptions for the Dolphins in 2020. So
okay, X-Man had a ton. Now
in 3 years, by the way.
Oh, didn't X-Man have like X-Man 7 in 1 year? Had damn near Defensive Player of the Year another year. He had 10. We have 9 or 10, and now the X-Man. By the way, X-Man's got to go up. You're talking about that list. It's got to go in that Ring of Honor. X-Man's going up.
Yeah, he should probably go. He had 10 1 year.
I let that go.
Another year.
I let that go, but X-Man.
Yeah, you're right. He should probably go up.
That's a good second-round pick. That's a real good second-round pick. That's what we do now. We go, oh, that's what a second. Oh, that's a good second-round pick. Oh, that's a good third-round pick.
We say that.
Oh, that's a fourth-round pick. That's a good one. Atlantic Men's Clinic. Oh, that's a good product. It'll work for Joe Rose. Oh, ED and low T. If you're going through it, man, energy level is shot. I had a great weekend. I got to tell you, not that any of you guys care. I had a great day with my family yesterday. I did. I saw 4 of my grandkids together and all my kids together, man, at a birthday party. I just felt so good, man. It made me feel good. And Landing Men's Clinic helped it too, man. You know what? Energy level to just hang through the day and enjoy it. Then ED might kick in. Your sex drive is gone. I went through both, man. Energy level shot. And then sex drive is gone. Nothing. It was hit and miss there for a little while, and then it was gone. I was running to bed early to fall asleep on a Friday night after dinner, and so she'd watch a movie and come in, and it was like, try to wake me up, and I was like, nah, I ain't waking up. There's nothing happening here. It was terrible, man. Atlantic Men's Clinic got rid of ED and low T. Thank you guys so much. Can't thank that staff enough. and everybody else. Then I find out, I get educated by Atlantic Men's Clinic. They go, this happens to every guy out there. Low T and ED. It's real, man. So when guys tell you, I got no problems, maybe a little energy, that's probably not the truth, but whatever you want to believe, but you can still go to Atlantic Men's Clinic and tell them the truth. They got a great staff. You get the PSA test done, and there's professional staff will check out, look at the numbers, talk to you about everything going on, and put you on a program that's perfect for your situation so you get great results fast. Atlantic Men's Clinic works like nobody's been. I was shocked. 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, I got on the program, and man, I tell you what, it's fantastic going there every Thursday or every Friday. I call it Atlantic Men's Clinic Day because I see a lot of my brothers in there. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you, a brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation, professional staff, police the program to make sure you get great results. I could talk for 9 minutes on this. Call them today, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Set up that first appointment. It's going to work for you.
combo. Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scramble.
All right, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. Hope everyone out there had a nice weekend and got a chance to get out and get a little sweat. No, I'm just kidding. Not everybody likes to sweat. A lot of people in my life don't like the heat, complain about the heat. I love the heat.
I like the heat. I don't mind the heat.
Me neither.
You were out walking yesterday. Weren't you getting a little exercise?
I did.
We talked. Yeah.
I waited till later in the day, and I did. I was, like I said, it was a little birthday party for my granddaughter yesterday, but then in the afternoon, I did. I went for a little walk. I was sitting there going, I'm going to get a little sweat and talk to Dave Hyde. So you're on the rotation of calls yesterday, Dave. And hey, we got all kinds of stuff going on as Dolphins veterans report tomorrow. I believe everybody will be on the football field on Wednesday together for the first time, and then you'll be off and running with 3 preseason games, a couple of practices in there as well against the preseason teams you're playing. Not named Atlanta. Atlanta will not have a game, not have a scrimmage practice with us. And I don't know why. That's didn't really want to get into it. I know there's a lot of theories out there.
Well, there's one theory, right? They didn't want the whole Tua conversation to come up, right? I mean, neither side did really
Yeah, but the Tua thing, it's real simple. Like, we're going to hear about it all year. We're paying a salary. He was our quarterback. We drafted him in the first round. Atlanta thinks he's the guy to help them. And so, yeah, we're going to be tied together. I got to tell you, we're going to be tied. We're going to be tied with a lot of different people if you really think about it. We got Waddle in Denver. Everybody's going to see what kind of season he has as kind of a 1A, 1B in his position there. They've talked about how great he's been. Bradley Chubb up in Buffalo. I think he's going to have a really good season. He kind of takes over. He takes over for. It's kind of ironic is Joey Bosa. Joey's up there. I don't know if Joey wants to play anymore. I thought he was pretty good. I'm actually surprised. Honestly, I thought Joey'd go out there. He and Nick are tighter than wet spaghetti. I thought he'd go out there and they play together.
I'm interested in Buffalo keeps trying to find answers, help, just and I get what, look, the edge rusher.
They've tried a couple veterans at the end of their careers to
the bottom of Josh Allen just hadn't had enough help. I mean, he hadn't had enough help in that run, and they blamed the coach.
Well, they did blame the coach.
I thought was kind of interesting considering it's the GM. Get him some help. He can't get him a receiver.
Controversial call at the end of a game that maybe keeps him from getting to the AFC Championship game. So didn't happen.
So, but I think to your point that the one everybody is going to be comparing this year is Reuben Bain, Proctor and Reuben Bain.
That one? We've got a few. That's a big one. But the Tua thing.
Yeah, the Tua.
There's a lot of Tua fans.
But don't you think most people said, okay, it's time to move on from Tua? Whatever he becomes
you know
somewhere
what?
else, I think
most fans, I don't think it was a 50-50, but he's still got a little fan base down here that are blaming everybody else but him.
Yeah, of course. They've been doing that for the 5 years he was here.
So that's fine. But we are tied together with a few guys. The Tyreek Hill, listen, man, I wish him only the best. I'm not just saying because of stuff. I mean, literally, I'm reading one day. I don't know if you saw this. And again, everybody's got their personal business, and now everybody's personal stuff, once it goes to court, becomes our stuff too. But one day we see the video and he's saying, I still can't lift my leg. It's still not ready to go. And then the next day he's got some with his ex-wife in court about a tape that's out there and stuff. And he wants the tape. Sorry to hear about my mother-in-law, or soon to be former mother-in-law, and you're like, yeah, man, it's every off season. It's something off the field. It just happens to be, now it's not.
And these are the things we saw. And these are the things I was told behind the scenes. You wouldn't believe it. Just the babysitting, the caretaking, the problems.
A lot of guys on this team that have left are talking about what happened here. It's been a really bad look for Mike. Really bad. Mike was in charge. Mike McDaniel was the head coach. I liked him. I think he's a really good offensive mind. I think he's a really good coordinator. He drew up some of the most creative things I've ever seen, and I used to go, wow. You know, you're thinking of football. There's not many new things you can do, right? They've seen everything, motion and going back and picks and all the things that the league has done. And Mike still used to find creative ways to get Waller wide open in the end zone. I was going to say,
I remember misdirection plays near the goal line where a receiver ran wide open, and you're like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah. So I don't want to take away, but the day-to-day of his guys, especially some of the guys that had the C, I don't know if you saw the articles. There's a bunch of articles out there now. Unnamed player wanted to stay unnamed, but just how bad it was, and they ran all over. They got footprints all over Mike's face from running all over him. And it's just, we knew it.
Well, we knew that Tyreek
we knew it was more than just guys being late.
But it started there. It started.
And by the way, how bad did it get that Jalen Ramsey? Mike walked in one day, you got to get rid of him. What do you mean? I just gave him an extension. He goes, you got to get rid of him. He's got to go. And that just tells me he did something though.
And they're still paying $20 million in dead cap money this year. When it's feel like he's been gone for a while, hadn't he?
Yes.
So
a year. Anyway, we're moving on. I just think we're so much better with GM, head coach, and then all the new people working with them to do it their way. And it
sounds like a football organization again. Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how good they'll be, but there is no way our head coach can get run all over. I can just tell, like I know you guys know this is the first time I've been a head coach in this level. I did it in college. I've been a coordinator, but these are the rules, man. And my guy up top sits in a different office. The GM got my back. And we ain't tolerating it. I don't think they have anything to worry with this group.
Well, this isn't a group. There's nobody really in this group who would be either have the career heft, making enough money, any of that to say, boy, there's a problem. All of them, the guys they just resigned, first of all, are the blue ribbon guys you want.
Correct.
On a team. So they aren't going to do it. And nobody else has a contract or is good enough to be a problem.
They got a core of guys that I'd have no problem. They got 5 or 6 guys, counting whatever number you want to put in there. If you want to make them a C, give them the C, as in captain, you got no problem with it. But Mike had guys up there that had the C that were sitting in those meetings talking about they wanted a lighter practice that were like, really? You? I'm not sure you should be the one talking. I mean, the stories just came out, man. It was just and then Sam Madison and Wes Welker lose their jobs, both old school guys. I called the Wes Welker one. I thought for sure that might be the end.
Well, you saw Sam Madison coming when Jalen Ramsey, Vic Fangio left, and the whole Jalen Ramsey thing. Sam's old school. Look, be a professional. That starts. It's just simple. Show up on meetings on times. Do the work. Don't complain. And they had that. The most expensive players were the biggest problems, and it's starting with the quarterback. Just not so much behavior, although there was some of that. The things he said after games. But the biggest contract was the biggest problem.
But when you see, and this happened, this is what also happened during that time. When the veteran guys get away with stuff over and over again, they think it's okay for them to do the same things. Cam Smith. So Cam thinks, I'm not doing anything wrong. Why am I not playing? And that's when the stuff came out. Maybe you shouldn't go out so much. Now, let's start with that. Maybe you should enjoy the clubs in the off season around your workouts.
Maybe you should know the defense. Maybe you should know what's your roles.
Yeah.
And
anyway, I just don't think of that stuff, man. I think
wait a second. Hafley's a first-time head coach. Is that an issue?
Not with this group he has.
Not with this group, yeah. I'd agree with that. Also, I'm not big on the first-time head coach look, Brendan Shanahan was a first-time head coach. Sean McVay is a first-time head coach. Mike McDonald.
Who wrote that article? Somebody just wrote Perk. Like, no, Perk, we're good.
Which I like Perk, but we can disagree on things.
Yeah. No, it's not a shot. I just saw
it too. Don't like where he works, but you know.
I like they're using your articles,
I'm just
man.
having fun with it.
They're going. Hey, Hyde's been kind of bad mouthing us on the show with that big dummy.
I've been nice. If I wanted to badmouth it, you'd do some badmouthing.
Yeah, right. You have been a real nice guy. You are. You've been way too nice, man. You're way, way too nice a guy. Hey, I guess am I way behind here or way ahead? Which one am I all day? I haven't been paying. Am I a little bit behind in this break? Yeah, I thought so. Thank you. Thanks all day for keeping me up. Well, listen, tonight, Marlins going to try to break a franchise record, and not a good franchise record. 12 straight losses, hopefully. Phillies in town for the first of 3. If you're looking to go to a game, man, Phillies, they just, by the way, they had to play the Dodgers and the Yankees in back-to-back series. So they haven't lost a lot of ground to them, but, boy, you got to start winning some games. So if you want to get out, Philly's got a very impressive lineup of players, a team that the Marlins are chasing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you want to get out there tonight, you can enjoy 2 for $25 and score 2 tickets plus 2 canned beers for $25. And then on top of that, you can get the 4 for $44 presented by Pepsi and get 4 tickets plus hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks, all for $44. That just take care of the whole family right there, man. You got a family of 4 and want to get out to a game, you were planning on doing it. They're going to be leaving town after these 3 games, so get on out there. Phillies and Marlins, first of 3 tonight.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the
Is this the Eagles? No, who is this?
Steve Miller.
Oh, Stevie Miller, you're right.
Dandy Day keeps going to our decades here, Joe. And
he has. I had a great night with the Eagles, part of the Eagles band in the 80s. I had a great night.
Really?
One of the craziest nights of my life. Single, by the way, for single but crazy.
After a concert or?
After a Dolphins playoff game. We beat Buffalo in a playoff game. And was down in the Grove and listening to live music with I gotta explain. There were two girls. There were airline stewardesses. Okay, one of the girls went to Cal, so I knew from Cal, Berkeley, but she was stationed out here, so I knew her, and then I got to know her friend a little bit. But anyway, we went out and had drinks at this live music at this place, a little popular place, and 3 or 4 of members of the Eagles. I didn't know they were down here. I didn't know this was a place they recorded down here. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
So anyway, they were down there, and I saw the band kind of like, from what I remember, and I was hiring a kite, and a kite with extra strings, I might add. And I was like looking, and I look, and I go, holy smokes!
There's Don Henley.
No, it was not Henley, but it was some other guys in the band. But so we sat, and they invited me back to a house that I went to, and next thing I know, it was about 9 or 10 in the morning.
I got an Eagles story in the Dolphins. So they were playing an exhibition. Dolphins were playing an exhibition in London. Remember at the start of this? They were like one of the first teams to go. Don Shula is standing in the hotel lobby, and security comes up to him and says, "Hey, coach, some of the Eagles are here, and they'd like to meet you." And so, oh yeah, sure. Come over and just introduce him. Shula goes, "Hey, you guys playing over here too?" He thought they were Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow. That's like the Stu Weinstein story in Don Johnson from Miami Vice. He thought Shoes thought after the game he was really meeting the Miami Vice, and said, "You guys are doing great work in the city of Miami."
Yeah,
proud of you.
Don Johnson said to him, "Hey, you should come out to some of our shoots. Shula walked away. Who's he shooting?
Oh man, that man was focused on his coaching. Man,
he was football.
He'd go
football.
He'd go home and see his wife, and he oh, his kids must have some good laughs, man. Talk about their father. Yeah. The guy's crushed, Don Johnson. Like, my show's #1. Everybody's watching my damn show. He didn't know I am. Oh, man. That's funny. I still laugh at that, Stu.
Cheech and Chong came out to the practice one day.
Come on.
No, this is who's
you're making sure these are legit now. This is good.
This is legit. And
right
they
before
wanted
after Up in Smoke,
after somewhere in there, and of course he had no idea who, and trying to explain to them the comic value of it didn't work out well.
No, I tell you, somebody there has to be a movie. So after I saw the Lakers and what they did with Riley and different characters, I thought it was fantastic. I did. And part of it, Magic, they got a guy playing Magic, and Magic's getting around. I mean, I'm sure Magic wasn't crazy about it, but so they had the whole thing, but it was really good. And I was thinking, they got to do one of those on the Dolphins. They have to. It's such a great idea for a movie or for one of those shows. I think everybody enjoy, like, watching, what they went through, and somebody playing Larry Zonka and somebody playing Manny Fernandez and out getting alligators in the freak. Just they were crazy. And of course you exaggerate everything. It just, people are going to North Dallas 40 was great. I love North Dallas 40. That was a wild time. Remember Staubach and Craig Morton and
that was a Peter Gent book. Yeah. Someone else wrote a book of the 72 Dolphins. I wrote a book. It was me. I wrote a book on the 72 Dolphins. Maybe that, Joe.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that needs to be that. Those are great. And now, you got all these different platforms as far as Netflix and everybody else.
Who would you have playing Shula?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not smart enough for that.
Of course, it'd be the young Shula too. We're talking, 40s.
But you got a lot of people been around him a lot that could give great stories. And oh my God, how his mannerisms and
there's a million. So you could give him. You were there. You saw him up close.
Yeah,
he was a man of habit.
I think
You're gonna pass.
I'm gonna pass. But there were some guys I was scared to
Who
death.
would play the young Joe Rose?
I was scared to death of him when I was there. But I got to tell you, some guys did not. Some guys they weren't changing for anybody. And that's kind of the story too. It was, but that'd make for a great movie or somebody's got to do that. We got to get somebody out there. All right, 9:00 hour's coming up while you're sitting there staring at me. Maybe it's you, Dave. Maybe we'll do something with.
Maybe so.
Maybe we'll do a little something with you there. Hey, I want to talk to you about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. Need cash to pay off taxes, liens, judgments, IRS, high interest rates, second mortgages, credit card debt. Call Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. You can call or text him 561-441-2730. This is what he does. If you own a commercial or residential property with equity, call Michael. Right now, he can help you. He's been helping Floridians for more than 30 years. If you're looking to buy a home today, he'll get you pre-approved with very little money down. Now's the time to lock in before interest rates might be going back up even higher. You can call or text him. He works 7 days a week. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage has been built on great service. That's his thing. Great service means getting you qualified quickly, even on the weekend, so you can get all the process going and get you approved a lot faster than the banks. 561-441-2730. This man is always working, Saturday and Sunday included. 30-plus years of experience. No matter what you're looking to do, he can get it done for you. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change. Daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
Baseball coverage on WQAM is presented by Xfinity.
your abuelito. And whenever you want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. The Marlins have now lost a franchise record 12 in a row, falling 5-3 to the Padres. Tonight, they host the Phillies at 6:40. Tyler Phillips gets the start for the Fish. Inter Miami, they defeated CF Montreal over the weekend 1-0. Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, and Andrew Jones were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame yesterday. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, and hurricane impact windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. Temperatures around 90 degrees with some sprinkled in showers throughout the day. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
And welcome back here for the 9 o'clock hour. So LeBron goes to Philly. A lot of people went all in. He was going all these different places. I'm just wondering if any of those guys that do these shows daily, that are NBA guys, that's their thing. And they got no help. I get it. But they jumped the gun a little bit, like, we're hearing.
Well, Bill Simmons said definitely going to Cleveland.
Bill Simmons, I'll tell you what, man. I know he's got a real popular podcast, but yeah.
I mean, but to your point, a lot of people were, you're only as good as your sources. And on this story, there was only one source, and that was LeBron, and he wasn't talking to anybody. Yeah. He wasn't even talking to Philadelphia.
He clearly, and if his agent knew anything or didn't, and, really doesn't matter. But I didn't see that Philly thing going. I didn't think he was going to Golden State. I thought at the end of the day it was going to be, that thing about Cleveland and going back home. And then I said, well, I don't know how he feels about James Harden, so maybe not. And then everything was pointing here. And then all those guys that last week were all pointing down here to South Florida. People ask, I said, all those guys seem to think that we got a really good chance. And then it breaks on a Friday afternoon. That was it.
Yeah, my first initial reaction was, because I thought he was coming here. I thought the best fit on a basketball court from his lifestyle. He kept talking about golf, and his agent did.
I don't think he thought we had enough juice.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, he decided Philadelphia is the best fit, and he's going for 2 years, $8 million. So it's not like
but
money played a factor.
I think Pat Riley would have loved to have heard those numbers too. He and Andy.
That would have been
love to hear those. Like, he's coming to Miami, and it's how much?
And you're getting another player out of it too, probably a Klay Thompson.
That's right.
Or something's coming too. And all of a sudden, you got not only a contender, but you got juice. You got everybody's going to be talking about your team again.
Well, Philly's got to be the favorites in Vegas, right? For the East. No, I'm not saying they're favorites overall, because they're not going to be ahead of San Antonio and Oklahoma City. But, man, I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to be the number one team in the East. I know the Knicks just had the great story and unbelievable finish. Who else do we like in the East right now?
Well, you got the Knicks for the champs.
Knicks.
So you
Cleveland's got a nice team.
Cleveland.
A nice name on paper. Now they're going to get James Harden re-signed.
Detroit's, another team
I can't read that team.
Well, they're going to win 55 to 60 games in the regular season. It'll be a tough out in the playoffs. You got the Heat, of course. No matter what happens, they still got a top 5 player in the league, and they filled around with some good pieces around.
I like the Portis piece that came with them.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. is a nice pickup for a role player.
You need one more piece, though. You do need one more. I'd love to see Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan, somebody come in and give you some.
Well, you need a creator at the end of games or periods or whatever, when you need a shot and there's 12 seconds left.
Well, DeMar is not a great three-point shooter. He's a nice mid-range shooter. Don't get me wrong, and he's always been a scorer. So anyway, we'll see what happens there with this whole thing. But yeah, we got left at the church, man. The girl took off early. She left me right there. Left me with the priest.
I just didn't see LeBron. And
where is she? She's gone.
Don't blame LeBron. He gets to do whatever he wants. Blame Brad Stevens in Boston. What was he doing? Trading Jaylen Brown to a top East rival, and now LeBron looked at that and said, I like Jaylen Brown there. I like that mix. I'm going to go there. That trade.
How about that story, though, that a lot of people say, Jaylen Brown burned that bridge with LeBron when he talked about Bronny.
Yeah.
Only reason he's in the NBA because his old man's so good, and that was deal. Everybody knows that. And then Jaylen Brown ends up getting traded to Philadelphia, and he goes, hey, Jaylen Brown's there now too? That we can win with that team.
Tells you LeBron didn't think about much about that as he did when Stephen Smith said something about LeBron thought Stephen Smith said something about his son. So I don't know, but supposedly Rich Paul, his agent and lifelong friend, him being agent of Maxey too, solidified
that had
deal.
a lot to
do.
Yeah,
I think
he did say over and
should
over.
have got one of Rich Paul's clients, and that would have helped.
Well, here we go. So, they must be juiced up in Philly, getting ready for their Eagles and.
Do Phillies. They boo LeBron if the Philly doesn't win? I mean, do they? Because that city, it's renowned for booing Santa Claus, and
those tickets got to be gone right now, right? LeBron signs Friday; those tickets are gone.
I would think. I'm sure they would be.
Whatever's left. They already had a good.
How
team.
did the plane that was going to land here detoured? It got that detour and
better cookies. We'll have a cookie problem here. You have all the cookies you want, LeBron. Was it chocolate chip or oatmeal? I couldn't remember what he liked. Boy, we're going through an oatmeal thing right now, speaking of that.
You are?
Oatmeal cookies.
I'm not an oatmeal cookie fan.
She started buying them. I eat anything. You know what I did get this weekend, though?
Key lime pie? You did it? All that talk?
I didn't get it, but she got it at Publix. Now, it's not my first choice, the Publix, but it's good.
Yeah,
it's solid.
It's
Don't
the
get me
economy
wrong.
Version of the key lime pie. And if you're there, but getting other stuff, you see it.
Well, the Griffin.
She was thinking of you because she went.
The Griffin Road over on Griffin there was a little bit of a drive, but if I'd known that, I'd have just stopped and picked one up on the road and got off the turnpike right there at Griffin Road, and bam, it's right there.
See, you're fortunate in your family; nobody else eats it, so it's all to you.
Yes,
that's good and bad, and that because I know you're out huffing and puffing on that on the hill, walking it, and then you're also
trying to
playing
stay
tennis.
active. I'm trying to,
and then all that exercise, it's defeated when you have that key lime pie.
I was walking. That's all I could think of last night. After this shower I'm going to take is that piece of key lime pie that's coming next. That was going to be next.
Whipped cream on it.
Yeah, there was a little key. They put a little bit on there. Yeah. When was the last time you had a Publix key lime pie? They do make it. Look at
probably a year ago.
I can't say anything. We must get 40 a year of them from there. She's at least getting me the smaller ones now.
That's nice. Yeah,
the big one.
The economy size. Good.
Just
when you're on a diet, just eat this key lime pie.
Oh man, Dave, I can't. Hey. I always say this. Something, I don't miss fast food and the new diet, and I love my son does this. Oh my God, I don't miss any of that stuff we ate before. I go, I do. I'm not one of those guys.
Fast food hamburger, fast food with fries.
There's not a fat. There's not. You know what I've been craving? Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. You grew
up with Taco Bell?
Yeah, we had a Taco Bell. We have a Taco Bell in my Marysville, by the way, is down to like a Carl's, Burger King. I don't know if we have a McDonald's there or not now. Yeah, we do have a McDonald's. We got like 4 fast food restaurants because people just drive through and get gas, and you got to have some fast food restaurants in there. And that little Taco Bell around the corner, we have a little Denny's.
Oh, Denny's, yeah.
I love Denny's too. Taco Bell's up there, though.
I didn't grow up with Taco Bell, so it's sort of a. But
I know another one I'm going to say, man. I'm just doing combinations, so I'm not out to offend anybody this morning. But it has to do sometimes with location on my way home because I don't want to go way out of your way. Part of fast food is having fast food close to your way home or where you're going.
It's an impulse thing.
Yes.
I do want some of that.
You tell me you don't know exactly what's in your refrigerator right now.
Yeah.
I know exactly what's left over. I know what the girls brought home from a restaurant yesterday. I know they won't eat it, and it's mine. I know that.
You're
right
the leftover
now.
king?
Yeah, I'm the leftover. All leftover. Leftovers had no chance growing up.
A lot of people don't eat leftovers.
My family's not leftovers.
I'm a leftover person just because.
Do your kids eat
I'm a
leftover?
best option in the. Well, they did. One of them doesn't eat leftovers. Yeah, now that you say that, I'm a best option in the refrigerator, and if it's a leftover, I have no problem.
And if there's nothing there, there's no whining, man. I go peanut butter and jelly. 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, 2 lunches last week. She goes, I can't believe you're really eating these. I thought it was all like I told you. I like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, it's
nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong at all.
Well, when I tell myself I want a little snack, I get a cracker and put a little peanut butter and jelly on. I say I'll just eat one, and I eat about 12 of them. And that's
Dave. I do have this thing, so I do eat fast food. I always say I try not to, but I like them all. I have a McDonald's as I get off at 136th Street. It's right there on the corner. And it calls me in, and I got to have a Big Mac. And you can't eat a Big Mac without their French fries. You got to eat those French fries. You got to get after them quickly. That they're not to be made when I get home to eat them. This is talking about in the car, through the drive-through, and eating them right there.
It's an impulse buy. You got to be stronger than that food, Joe. That's what I tell myself. Who's stronger,
that
me
Big Mac,
or the food?
That Big Mac's about 4 big bites.
Oh, it sounds, yeah.
And then the French fries. And by the way, I don't want ketchup. I like those French fries just like they are.
Oh, the sauce. The
I
Big
love
Mac
the sauce.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me, you can make that sauce. And I go, no, I can't. No, I can't. I didn't mean to do that.
I do miss your son doesn't miss fast food. I miss the fast food. I don't eat it. Because I don't feel good afterwards.
We were a little broke there for a while, and me and my son were together during some lean times. We ate a lot of fast food, as he's reminded me through the years. So
you ruined. You were like you
not to go through
fast food.
Not to go through my highs and lows financially of my dysfunctional life, but yeah, the poor kid got stuck. He said, "Dad, I remember, man. You told me, hey, which fast food restaurant you want to eat at tonight? That's all we got. You can get us through the weekend, man." All right, we've got a lot of stuff to get to here, man. I didn't mean to get off the road here. I did not mean to do that. But besides the Marlins trying to stop a franchise record, 12 straight losses, and LeBron, that's kind of a lot of bad news. That's kind of when I did that. LeBron dumped us for Philly.
Just think back a week and a half ago, all the good news. LeBron's coming here. Looks like we're the number one option. And
all fingers were pointing this way.
Marlins are the talk story of baseball. Everything's great, right? It looked like we were going to be all our teams were pointed north.
I'll tell you one team I don't think is going to let us down. I don't think Canes football is going to let us down. I'm really looking forward to going to some of those games. I saw some those college football shows, and I agree with this. The one team that plays like Big Ten and SEC football is Miami. As far as their physical,
I was going to say, why is that? Because of the lines, right? Mario's
they get
investment
after
in the lines.
He is big on that. Now his practices, what you can do. I guess some of the coaches were out there saying, "Yeah, we can't. I wish we could practice like this," but NFL will get a call from the union in about 2 seconds if we try practicing that way. And they go after it for a little while. I mean, it's not a 1 hour practice and he's into it. And they came up a little short, so he is definitely they're going to be motivated. I don't think they're sitting on we got to the championship game last year.
Well, I'm curious to see this offensive line. Last year's offensive line was great. Defensive line was great. And now they've had to restock and develop. And, that's a number one point of emphasis for the way Mario coaches. So I'm interested in seeing a lot of great players have come in.
Dave, I don't think they're going to be as good on the offensive and defensive line to start the season. If we're to be honest, they're probably not going to be as good on the offensive line. They dominated in those playoff games against Ohio. They were dominating. This is what they always talk about. They were running the ball late in the fourth quarter of these playoff games in Texas and Texas A&M. And
What they have 7 draft picks, I believe, and 5 of them were linemen. 2 number ones on defense, a number 1 on offense, and 2 others on the offense.
Yeah,
if I remember
three
right.
Three guys got drafted on the O-line. One came back. The center did not get drafted, but the rest of them did. You're right. Left and right tackle and right guard all got drafted. Anyway, we got to go to break here, man. We're a lot of stuff. That's going to be fun, though. It's going to be a fun watch, man. See what this thing looks like, and we're gonna be there all season long. Can't wait. Dr. Barry, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for Recovery Unplugged and what you're doing in Fort Lauderdale for all our fans, all the guys out there and women. By the way, there were a lot of both when I went in there to spend a couple hours. Recovery Unplugged has got a fantastic program. So I want to talk to all the guys that going through a little depression, anxiety, and it's gotten out of control. Used to kind of be able to bounce back, and now it's not working. You find yourself off the road. Your family and your friends have noticed. Hey, I can tell you something. Dr. Barry and his team at Recovery Unplugged, they got your back, and they're ready to help you right now. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space to heal with music-based care that hits the right note every time. They accept most major insurance plans. If you or somebody you know that you care about is going through it, please tell them about Recovery Unplugged. They can make a difference. Dr. Barry and his staff are so good. A lot of them that work there have been through it. Call 954-737-4508. I want to get you back on the road here before football starts up. Visit recoveryunplugged.com this summer. Heal out loud.
cool ways to listen to us.
Okay, I'd like to hear them then.
On FM 104.3 or on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. Same great shows, same great games. Plus, you can use the rewind feature and listen to anything you missed. Go for it.
And we are back. Good morning, everybody. Dave Hyde's with us all day. Dan Day with us as well. Dave will be here tomorrow with us, and then
it's a big day, Joe. It's a statewide holiday.
Yeah, for people that are going to be diving a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be going under the water and coming up with dinner. Hopefully, a little lobster. 2-day mini season. And
what do you get? You get 6 a day?
6, I believe. In Monroe County, in the Keys, it's 6. I believe in Dade, it's 8. I guess I should check that before putting that on the air, but I believe that's the recipe. And
how far down you got to dive, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, Joe, what you have spots. You have your spots.
Like, and you already know from
GPS,
years of being down there.
Yeah. So what I found is the shallower, the better for me. So, 20 feet and shallower is about my limit, because it comes out how long can you hold your breath?
Not very long.
Yeah, I'm
a terrible swimmer.
I come from a family of swimmers. My sister actually was an All-American swimmer at Ohio State.
No, you said you swim and you go down.
I still exercise swimming, but yeah, I like those shallow spots.
I tried to tread water one day in the pool as a joke, just to see how long I could do.
You couldn't tread water?
Not very long. I can go back on my back and buy some time floating.
Well, if you haven't swum a lap in a while, one lap can really wear you out. It's like a sprint, it's like that.
I just see my body as just like a sinking ship as you just keep going. It just pretty soon I'm just like underwater. Yeah, not very good. Hey, so we got this Dolphins thing as the full squad's going to be together. Report tomorrow. Everybody will be in there on Wednesday. I tell you what, I think all our guys in the media and our podcasters have all done a great job of kind of talking about everything with the team. Not that I agree with some of the things that are out there, and that's what makes football such a fun sport. There's so many pieces you need. It's not like bringing 2 great players and all of a sudden you're going to win 50 games in basketball. You need both sides of the football. You need a good kicker. All those things in those situations are just so important that you have to have. And so this season, but there are definitely a few guys that was just again last night doing some work on the team. Right guard, Jonas Savaianaya. All those other spots are locked down as long as Austin Jackson's healthy. He's the right tackle. The only one I don't know about is right guard, and I know they're going to give him every opportunity in year 2 to be the guy. Think that he's going back to his natural position where he should have been last year, which is ironic, right? Well, it's amazing. Last year they didn't feel like it, and Bobby Slowick was there last year. And then this year they move him to the other side.
And he gave up 45 pressures according to Pro Football Focus.
He did not rank. He did not grade out well.
Not
anywhere.
At all. He was probably the lowest for as many snaps as he's played.
Played every snap.
So he's got to cut that down to in half at least.
Well, so Bo's theory is, and I respect Big Bo because he's been through it on both sides, and Big Bo is that. All that experience got to help him. I said, good experience helps you, not a lot of bad experience.
And experience helps good players, right?
You can learn, don't get me wrong, but you have to at some point in your rookie year walk out going, I just had a good game. Finally, damn, now I know what I'm doing, and you start feeling better.
Well, what you would hear about him wasn't that it was that he'd have a handful of plays every game where he's awful. And the rest of the plays were okay. So the question is, can he cut out those handful of plays where he's awful?
Well, what's amazing about playing the O-line, and I know you know this. You can grade out really well and give up 2 sacks, and that's all they're talking about. Well, he's given up 12 sacks on the season, and you're thinking, he's actually pretty good, though. He's, and and it counts on who you play against.
The weird thing is I look at the offensive line as that's a strength, right? They should be good.
They should be.
And I'm reading all these analytical guys saying, no, they're projecting them to be like 29th in the league. And if that's true, I think they're
who nobody's sold on that I'm 100% sold on him? It's Caden Proctor. I think he's going to be good.
I would hope the 12th pick of the draft, playing guard, where there's less, you're
on top of
exposed.
That, he's playing between two of the best players on the team.
That's a good point. Right.
Like you make a little mistake, he goes, I got your back. The old Dwight thing. I got you. Or on the other side, you got Patrick Paul going, I got a long arm in there to help you. You're good.
The other factor this season, as opposed to the last handful of seasons, they got a quarterback who's elusive. And if he has to run, he'll get out of trouble sometimes. So you're not going to have.
He's not a sitting duck back there.
Yes.
And he doesn't have to throw the ball. He's going to roll out and try to find something and keep plays alive. If you've seen some of his highlights when he did play. And the other thing, he's got this one highlight, Malik Willis. He takes off and just outruns everybody in the red zone. Just goes outside, faked it, and then keeps the ball. And obviously, you got to respect what Achane does. And then he's got great speed to.
He has Achane speed. I mean, that's he. I believe he was timed 4.3 in the combine. I mean,
I know he has around 100 meters like Achane did at A&M, but I know what you're saying. I do.
Yeah. He wasn't as. But the point is,
Achane was like track fast, like SEC fast.
Well, the whole Dolphins offense seemed like it was track fast for a while there.
We did. So, it was fun.
That was fun.
It was gimmicky, cute, fun. We had 4 guys we had 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers that could really run. Hell, I never thought I'd say Waddle was clearly the slowest of the 4, but he was. That's how fast your team was during that time. The second guy it's a broken record. I know it. But we need Chop Robinson to. And by the way, they've turned him over to one of the best coaches that's got a great track record after what he did with the young defensive tackles. Austin Clark is coaching him preseason and now has got him. And he wanted him. He like, this is, and he's got to get better at everything. Because we need it. If you don't get a rush out of him, it's going to force you to do a lot of creative things. And when you start blitzing a lot, usually there's big plays behind it. One guy slips, easy completions, somebody gets caught in the wrong spot and ends up being a big play. Especially because your situation at corner right now and not sure what you have. And
the point you brought up, they played 9 games against what are rated as the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Including obviously the one from Buffalo twice.
Their home schedule of quarterbacks is very impressive. If
you're here to watch quarterback play, it's very impressive.
We are going to have a record amount of fans from other teams coming this year. What do you think Chicago is going to bring when Caleb Williams shows up? What kind of crowd do you think we'll have for that? It's going to be big. And they got a really good team.
And remember, the Dolphins started selling tickets before the schedule came out to home games, which if you're an away fan, no matter when the game is, you're going to come to, if you're a Bears fan, you're going to buy that ticket. Whereas if you're a Dolphin fan, you're going to wait to say. So anyways, I think there's going to be a lot of away. It's going to be a tough season for the Dolphin fan, I think. If you're not looking at the bigger picture, and I hate to say this because it's been 20, everybody knows how long it's been, but this is a season where the new regime came in with I think it's a smart plan. They're doing it the right way, but it's going to be a rough year.
Well, you get, let's just tease it with coming up first for the home schedule, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They somehow gave him a green light to practice, to go. Not partial. They gave Andy Reid goes, we've, what was that, like 6 months? That was fast.
He's full go right now. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Hey, him a green light.
Yeah, they green lighted him this weekend.
Jeez.
How do you heal that fast?
I don't know.
God.
We got guys at 9 months are not there yet.
And the second home game, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati's coming in.
Oh, now you got. Go ahead. What else you got?
With Jamar Chase, of course. Jamar Chase is one of, I think, 5 guys who Madden's rated a 99. He's like, okay, so
It was the sidekick that got us last year. Actually, that played well. That's the best 1-2 punch at receiver.
And then
in my
Drake
opinion.
May of New England comes in. He's the third.
Drake
game.
May?
Yeah, with AJ Brown of
No,
the new Patriot.
All right, are you done?
Then Detroit. Jared, you get a break. Jared Goff comes in from Detroit the next game. Not a.
Oh, they got. It's gonna be. I don't know. I like seeing the good teams come to town. I do. I like
the great quarterbacks to watch them. Yeah. But I like a great defense against a great, and there's so many questions. You need a lot of answers in training camp and preseason.
You need some great game plans. You need a combination. Your coach going to call plays defensively, and the guys you have, you need to come up with some great game plans.
You can only hide so much. You can only hide so much.
Yeah, but you got to develop talent.
What I want to hear is, in training camp and preseason, a handful of guys, wow, this guy could be good. This guy's surprised or impressed or however you want to put it. And we've been there, but you have to go a long way back. Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Larry is. I mean, a lot of guys have impressed right from the first camp, but it's been a while.
Yeah. It would be nice to have some guys right off and just go, this is my house, and get off to a great start. No question about it. Hey, kind of like going to your South Florida Chevy dealers. That's a great start. It's a great way to go if you're looking for a new truck. Boy, you know what? I've been talking about these Silverado trucks, even the Colorado custom to the ZR2. But those Chevy Silverado trucks, man, whether it's a Trail Boss to the Silverado EV. And then let's get into a little extra power. 10 models with 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. I'm going to talk about some of those big trucks, man, that you need that extra power for. Chevy Silverado HD. You can choose from the powerful LTZ, the premium style and substance to match, or just go to the biggest guy in town, man, the Chevy Silverado HD High Country. Well, I'll tell you, we got a truck absolutely perfect for you. Here I am, man, with my Tahoe. Love my Tahoe to death, and I'm sitting here talking about trucks. Boy, I'll tell you what, whether it's a Suburban, whether it's a Tahoe, whether it's a Traverse, boy, we got one heck of a teaser SUV family that you're going to love as well. Stop by and take some test drives, man, and fall in love at one of the 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today.
The Joe Rose Show is presented by
Dave Hyde's with us all day, Dan Day. We'll be back here tomorrow morning again, but we do have just a couple days away. Wednesday morning, Dolphins, full squad on the field. I'm not sure when things open up, though.
We almost made it. We almost made it through the off season, right?
I think it went by fast.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on. That was nice. It was a good spring. Not locally, but you had the World Cup to get you through what could have been an empty stretch, considering our teams weren't in the playoffs.
LeBron took a month.
LeBron was there,
and he teased us. Really stepped up the tease job at the towards the last week. He really, but then Philly. I just never saw him. I never saw LeBron going to Philly.
There's no connection. The city, it's cold in the winter, very cold.
I love when people are going, if he goes to Philly, he's just chasing a ring. Like, well, he's chasing a ring no matter where he is. Yeah, me neither.
That's fine.
But it's just kind of weird. You think of, he's going home. He's always been an Akron guy, and he's like, I can go home anytime I want. Doesn't matter.
I thought he'd keep it in his story. Home would have been part of the story. That would have been, the heartwarmingest part of it all. The Heat were part of the story.
Yeah.
Now he's going to a fourth team, and I guess
he thanked us after he decided made his decision. He thanked us for 4 years.
Always love you, or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Thank Cleveland. I always love you, and I'll be back to visit, but I won't win another damn game for you. So that's it. I just thought that the crazy part is Jaylen Brown put him over the top for the Philly, according to his agent. I was like, wow, isn't that just fitting? The guy in the league who talked the most trash about his kid, everybody knows why he's with the Lakers.
And if you're the Celtics right now, you're saying, what did we do? What did we do here? We gave him Jaylen Brown.
I think they know. They admitted they took a chance, but they had to be financially responsible for the future. And I don't think they win as many games as last year. Do you? They won 57 regular season games.
No, I think the East is so good this year. It's improved, which makes it harder. But I got it. They said they were financially responsible, but they took on a similar contract from a guy who plays half the games for the next 2 years. So how's that responsible? I'm missing something there.
I'm not sure what they think. Everybody loves Paul George, by the way. Paul George, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, I like Paul George too, before blew out his leg in an Olympic practice. Was that Olympic practice? He went under and stepped on.
I don't remember, but I remember he obviously had a severe injury. Oh yeah,
flipped
right.
It underneath. Right. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. Well, we've got all that, and that's done. Now we got to find out about DeMar DeRozan and what he's going to do. He's obviously got a lot of choices, and so does these buyouts. A lot of them are under contract. Klay Thompson's under contract, but it looks like they're going to buy his contract out. They've had enough of that show.
They want to move on from him. They're getting their new era in Dallas, and the question, if he gets it, is, okay, is he going to Philadelphia too now?
Man, I don't know. I'd like to think that they get DeMar DeRozan or Klay Thompson, one or the other. Once this is
I just
done.
think DeMar DeRozan fits what they need, a guy who can create a shot at the end of the game. That's not really Klay Thompson's game. The Heat don't. That's why LeBron was such a perfect fit here. He's a playmaker / creator at the end of games, and
he looked at everybody's roster.
Yeah.
And the coach, obviously.
He didn't look at tee times. I thought he was going to look at tee times.
That thing might have been blown out of proportion a little bit, because he was not worried about that. Because they're going to be getting snow and some crappy weather, and he ain't going to be playing golf anywhere.
Did you hear he's going to be living in New York, though? I assume the report is true. It was valid.
They said there's been other guys that lived and commuted to Philly. That's a long way, though. Isn't that a long way? That's a long.
I guess it's not as long by helicopter, which is part of his transportation mode.
Is that what they said?
That's
what the Kobe did. They said Kobe was landing on top, and they were showing us the place that we were down by where the Lakers played. We stayed at a hotel down there when we were getting ready to play in L.A., and they they were showing us, like, we were up high, and they go, see, that's where the helicopter, the Laker players land and then come down and get a ride to the. I was like, wow.
But the report is that heavily influenced LeBron's decision that he could live in New York and commute to Philadelphia. So there were a lot more moving parts to this decision than
I don't know about you. I ain't getting on a helicopter every day. I don't know how you feel about the helicopters.
We got to practice. Oh, okay, let's helicopter into Philadelphia and
it's a new world.
Back. I don't.
It's a crazy place.
Yeah. He's going to eat up that $4 million salary just on helicopter gas.
I don't think it's going to affect him. I think that money is chump change money to him and what he's making right now. He has made so much money. I never, of all the things we talk about, never thought in professional sports and even soccer, which now we're finding out Messi is way over $1 billion. Ronaldo's way over $1 billion. Hell, I think our owner, I think Beckham's worth over $1 billion. All the things. Beckham did more commercials during the World Cup than anybody. He had no, I shouldn't say that. Messi and Beckham had more commercials. And Messi never says a word. He's just in the commercial and he kicks a ball.
Did you see someone? Will Ferrell came out on a talk show talking about Messi and his commercial. And Messi had one rule during the commercial. And everybody and the producers was all anxious. Messi says, I give you a half hour and I'm done. So they had to set everything up, and he comes in for a half hour and he's out of there. Now there's a guy who can set the standard.
Hey man, I think that's. I would love to know. We talk about power. I'm not sure anybody in professional sports, anybody, and we've had some guys that had some pull, has more power than Messi does with Inter Miami. Pretty clear in the book too, although the Moss family downplays it a little bit. But no, of course we check with them, which is true. You check with your great players and give them a heads up on what you're doing. I think in NFL, you got a franchise quarterback. You let them know what's going on and what you're doing. But yeah, I think Messi is.
Well, just look at the number of coaches they've gone through in his time here. I'm sure.
Oh, he doesn't sign off coaching here.
Yeah.
There's no question. Again, that's in the book too. All that stuff is in that book. Book was fantastic. Just knowing the Moss brothers. Jose a little better than Jorge, a lot better. But yeah.
Well, it was interesting, the arc, their vision for not only Inter Miami, obviously with Messi, they saw, but the whole league. They want to take it to a different level, and a lot of the old school. This with Casemiro, the fact that they're under investigation for tampering and all that just speaks to the conflict in the league. The rule that only a handful of teams get to talk to a certain player is like out of a league that doesn't want financial competition among the teams.
What do you do when you still have a whole bunch of teams that are working on not spending money? Well, they're just going to get the best college kids here in this country. I just don't know how they can do it.
They envision it as a minor league and a feeder set. And whereas, why couldn't it be something bigger than that? And
I could tell you, the Moss brothers, they're thinking about being able to compete with all these teams. What happened with PSG, what they did to them last year, they were embarrassed. Was that last year when they played the number one team in the world, the number one club team, and they lose 4-0, 5-0, whatever. But they were pissed, and he's like, "No, we got to get better players. This is not acceptable." I love that, man. That's how you do it. Like, no, we got to get on the plane and get over there more. Let these guys know. Not a bad way to start with a motivated Messi, though, for sure. Hey, that's going to do it for our show. We've got a lot more stuff coming up for you tomorrow, and I want to thank you, Dave. Thank you all day, Dan Day. Always a pleasure. One more time on what are we doing again? What do you got?
I'm writing on Substack, and I'll be writing about the 3 top questions that I see for the Dolphins this season. Let me correct one thing: 12 lobsters in Monroe County or in Dade County is the limit. 6 in Monroe in the Keys. So I said it wrong before.
You know what? You better be careful. I saved you.
I gotta be careful.
I saved you from maybe getting in trouble down there, man.
I
always
probably
do that.
FWC would have been after me.
You don't need that. We don't need to see your picture in that paper. All right, that's going to do it. Have a great day, everybody.
WQAM.